Hello there, how's it going? I hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. Welcome back to Crafters TV. It is time to craft, chat, create. You will be seeing all of those, or partaking maybe even in all those three things over the next 3 hours, because we are fully interactive here at Crafters TV. It means that you can reach out and get in touch with me on my trusty tablet very, very easily. Crafters TV if you are across over on Facebook watching us, make sure you're in that live feed, or Crafters Companion if you are across on YouTube. If you want to watch and shop at the same time, then that takes place on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au. I would also say, if you are new to us, welcome, come in, hello. We're a very, very friendly bunch, but we do also have an amazing club called Club Inspire, and if you are watching us for the first time, you will be able to sign up today and receive 20% off of your first order, which is fantastic. More details on Club Inspire as we go through this show. Now, if there wasn't enough to look forward to, we also have an extra special, which is going to take place at about 8:30 this morning. So, in about 27 minutes time, we have up to 40% off selected craft kits. If you're new to crafting, maybe you've not been crafting a very long time, our kits are an amazing way to create a specific kind of crafting, because what you get in here is everything you need. You've even got things like card blanks, envelopes, dies, stamps for a whole host of different genres of craft. The price hasn't dropped just yet, but it's going to happen at 8:30 this morning. The other great thing about our craft kits is you've got full video tutorials over at crafterscompanionbox.com, which is brilliant. Then we also have a morning must-have, which I'll tell you about in a couple of minutes. Crafters Inspiration. Again, if you're newer to crafting, this is brilliant, because each of these magazines has got 75 projects in there, the other one's got 60 projects. They are beautifully housed, and you've got loads of crafty goodies in each and every one too. Now, I am not here on my own. It's a very special day today, actually, on Craft Chat Create, because I am joined by my good friend and all-round lovely lady. Leanne is with me in the building. How are you, Leanne?
Oh, thank you, Joe. I love you too. I'm really excited to be here, actually. My first Craft Chat Create show, and I'm very excited about that. We've got 3 hours of fabulousness, lots of chit chat. I like the gossip section. I like the idea of the gossip section, Joe, with all the questions. So definitely get all of your questions in, because we'll have knowing me and you will still be sat there for an hour, but we'll keep it to time. We'll not spend too long. And I'm going to just take some time and show you how to use all of our fabulous products as well.
Well, it's going to be amazing. It really is. Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a Q&A, sort of about halfway through this show, where you can ask us crafty questions, and you can actually ask us, they can be uncraft related if you want to, and you can get those into me in the same way you comment along. Details there along the bottom of your screen. Ask us anything, not too personal. Well, actually, do you know what? Go for it. Nothing's out of bounds, is what I would say. And oh dear, we're going to start off with that morning must-have, which is amazing, because very rare that we do deals on our Crafters Inspiration magazines. Very rare that you see two magazines together in the same bundle. So this is fantastic. You are buying one, you are getting one half price. The original price and the usual price is incredible, considering what you're getting included. Leanne is going to take us through that in a few moments. Something else to tell you about as well. You might see it there on your screen, that little blue box. Is it blue or is it green? It's kind of it's aqua, as my producer Erin would say. It is ClearPay. Now, if you're spending over £30, once you have, of course, your club discount has come off, between £30 to £1,000, you will be qualified for ClearPay, which is fantastic. And ClearPay is just a way of helping you spread the cost of the lovely craft goodies that you buy with us here at Crafters TV. It is UK only. You pay your first instalment today, and then you pay the other 3 instalments at 2-week intervals. It's very simple. It's very easy. You'll see the ClearPay option at checkout. Select that, and you will go through the process. I've used it before, and it was very, very simple. If you are, of course, using your Club Inspired discount, then that will be reflected in the ClearPay instalment price as well. The deal, though, is a fantastic one. Not often we see our magazines bundled together and then discounted. If you are a platinum member, $15.58 is available in the UK and in the US as well, which is fantastic. Lots of you chatting away to us and saying hi this morning. We're international international darling today. Rhiannon is in from Ballarat. In Australia, which is near Melbourne, as far as I'm aware. She says, hi, CTV crew, Leanne, Joe, social media superstar and crafty friends. It's so good to see Leanne back on our screens. Isn't it just, Rhiannon? Jill is in from North Yorkshire. Hey, Jill. Sandra is saying good morning to everyone as well. Kerry saying good morning from a damp Dorset. Damp Dorset, that doesn't sound very good, does it? Sounds like a racehorse, doesn't it? Damp Dorset coming up the outside. Sarah Legresley says, morning Joe and Leanne, me and my daughter Lily are watching before she goes off to school. Be great if you could give her a shout out. Good morning, Lily. I hope you have a wonderful day at school.
Morning, Lily.
It's very royal, that wave.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do, Lily.
Which isn't much.
Don't chat in class.
I bet you were really disruptive at school.
Do you know what? I was really quite quiet at school.
Were you?
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
You got it all out of the ballet classes by that point, didn't you?
I'd done all the twirling and got all of the disruption
Leanne
and the ignoring
was expelled
rules.
from ballet classes.
I was expelled from ballet
classes.
classes.
Mischievous. What was the reason again?
Because they wouldn't. I wanted to twirl, Joe, and they wanted me to tap shuffle.
Right.
So it was like a general dance class, and you had to learn more than one genre. And I just wanted to wear a tutu and twirl. And we were doing tap shuffle this period of lessons, and I didn't want to tap shuffle, so I just kept twirling. Yeah. So they asked my mum not to bring me back.
I think that's a good metaphor for life. If you're a twirler, don't let anyone make you tap shuffle. You do you, is what I say. The lovely Shadia's in as well from Cat. I think that you can see how this show is going to go today, can't you? Shadia says, good morning, Prince Joe, and the lovely, brilliant leader of Crafts Companion, Leann Chivers, for a freezing cold Ottawa. Let me know if you are watching us for the first time. Maybe you're what I call a long-time lurker. Maybe you've watched us for a while, but you've never commented. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know where you are watching us from today. But we are going to kick things off, as we should every single day, with a morning must-have, Leanne.
I tell you what I need, Joe. I need a fringe. I keep looking at myself in this thing and getting... there's a lot of forehead today, Joe.
Oh... Wow.
I don't know what's gone wrong, but you know what? You're going to forgive me for the forehead.
Amazing.
I keep catching a sight of myself and thinking, that forehead's not doing it for me. Anyway, it's all about crafted inspiration, isn't it? Actually, this little segment here. And I'm so happy that I eventually get the opportunity to show you and tell you about why our new revamped, rehashed, restyled crafted inspiration magazines are the magazines for you. The team who develops the magazine work in my team, and we worked on changing what we do with these over a period of several months. And I think we've really hit the nail on the head when it comes to Crafters Inspiration now. Now, Crafters Inspiration, if you've been buying them, collecting for a long time, if you've got the whole set, you'll know what we're talking about in terms of the quality and the freebies and all of that. But we have changed it, Joe. We've made it different.
Yeah, it feels luxury, doesn't it?
We've made it luxury, Joe. It's exactly what we've done. It feels like one of those really heavy, expensive mags you get on the newsstand where you get a really good freebie in it and you've got something special. It's a real treat. That's what you've got now. So we give you it in this gorgeous folder which opens out. So it comes in this envelope folder and then all of your goodies are inside.
I'm guessing they're going to become like a library of inspiration as well. I can see that on a shelf somewhere looking fabulous, as well as containing and housing all those amazing goodies.
Absolutely the intention, Joe. So what you will always have on the left is all of your free things, and what you will always have on the right is your magazine.
I love that price.
So if it's fantastic. Free is a good word. Now, in the past, magazines on newsstands have to make them affordable, to be able to put them on a newsstand, adverts in them.
Oh no.
So you'll sell space in the magazine for latest mascara, blusher, gin, whatever it is. And the same goes for craft magazines.
Yeah.
However, because this is an in-house magazine that we are now fully editing, publishing, creating ourselves, all of the adverts are gone, Joe. There is no filler but all thriller in this fantastic magazine.
This is thriller life.
Honestly, there is none of those 2 pages, double page spread of adverts in there anymore. You've just got fabulous inspiration, tutorials showing you all the way how to try different techniques if that's what you're into do, how to use the things that come free in the magazine. We will give you master classes, we'll show you how to scrapbook, we'll show you how to construct. We share your makes, so you send us in your photographs of things you've made with our previous issues, and we will share them with the viewers to share what you're doing as well. We've got really fabulous features from some of the industry experts. For example, Nicole Bretherick. You will hear me talk about such a talent, and the most amazing colourist. She is a phenomenal crafter and card maker. Having a whole masterclass with Nicole to make these is fabulous, because what we're also doing in these magazines, Joe, is supporting you with products that you might have bought from us already. So if you might have bought these fabulous stamps and dies, we're going to give you a masterclass in it in how to colour them as well. A masterclass.
Not a masterclass.
No, a masterclass.
Oh, that's like a really fancy masterclass.
It's a really fancy masterclass.
I nearly said then.
It's a really fancy masterclass. And we're going to show you how to use the products that you've already bought from us. We're not just going to focus on the things that are in the magazine. We're going to give you loads of inspiration. We're going to give you sneak peeks and first looks at product as well. It really is cram-packed to the gunnels, Joe, and it's just page after page after page of just riveting content. You're going to sit down and lose hours just reading it page to page, and you're going to go back and find things you didn't read before when you pick it up again. We've got Ask the Experts in here, so Sarah and I will solve some of your crafty conundrums for you as well. We've got a little Sudoku and a little crossword in there, so you can have a little break with a coffee and a biscuit if you want to. Honestly, Joe, these are fabulous, and I've got to talk to you about how it feels now as well, because this...
Ooh.
You're just going to want to do this when you get it home, because it's not that glossy magazine front. It's a lovely matte finish. It's real quality. It feels like a very expensive mag. Now, that's just the magazine. In this side are your freebies. Now, I love a gift, Joe. I love a little present, don't you?
These feel like a little present, the way they're packaged, don't they?
They give a little gift
like a
to
little
yourself.
present. You took the words out of my mouth.
Little gift to yourself, Joe.
Absolutely.
And I love that, which is why we put them in this little bit of wrapping for you.
Can we position that in our brain as self-care?
Of course we can.
A little gift to ourselves.
I think so. Yeah, is self-care. I think so. I do it regularly. It's important.
That's all I've been doing all week this week, self-care.
Oh gosh, yeah, I've been self-caring a lot. Self-caring a lot in January, I have. You see there, we've got it tells you on here, the little sticker, what's inside, foliage dies, and then you open it up, and there's your little freebie inside there. Ooh. Here it says stencil. Someone's been using this one.
Is that a Sarah signature set of dies in
Yes,
there?
'Twas the Night Before Christmas. A little foliage set of dies. Yeah, we don't give you all of the rattling around things, Joe.
No,
we give you
but just thinking about it, you're paying £10 per magazine here.
Yeah.
Surely you pay £10 for the die. Paint me green and call me a pickle. That's a great deal.
It is a great deal, isn't it? And also, by the way, this isn't a repeat of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. This is some extra new exclusive product designed only for the magazine.
You can't even get that anywhere else.
You can't even get that. You couldn't buy it when the range was launched.
Shut the front door.
No, you can only get it here, Joe. We design exclusively for the magazine, so you're not getting repeats, you're not getting small sizes, you're not getting try-me's, you're getting exclusive designs only in the magazine. We've got that fabulous stencil set there. By the way, this foliage set, that's not just about Christmas, that's just a beautiful foliage set, cards all the year round. We've also got a fabulous set of stamps in here as well. So that's the 3 little gifts to yourself. We've then got a whole wodge, Joe, and I need to...
Oh, I love a wodge.
Honestly, a heavy old wodge of some die-cut toppers. Somebody's pinched a couple. Somebody's had a nice time. They've been pinching my gift to myself. And then these gorgeous scrapbook papers. Now, Joe, I need to just... Can you hear that?
Oh,
this is quality.
That's passing the wobble test for me.
Absolute quality, and it feels like the expensive. Well, it is the expensive papers that come in our pads, but cut down to a size to fit into your magazine for you.
Can we stamp over that as well?
Yes.
Is it uncoated?
Uncoated,
Brilliant.
so you can stamp over it. You can die cut it. You can ink it. You can fold it. You can do whatever you want with it. It's glued at the top just to stop them from getting all rattled around in there. So you just need to cut that glue as you go along, just with your finger. But you can see you've got all of those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful usable designs in there.
Lots of people talking about these magazines online, messaging me about them, Leanne. Absolutely loving them. Rhiannon says, I love these magazines. Ash says, I adore the Restyle Crafted inspiration. It's awesome. I've loved creating with it. And Sandra says, I love it. But let's face it, I love every Crafter's Companion product. They are all quality. And Cheryl says, I have both issues and can't wait for number 3. It will be coming along. Great opportunity if you haven't got them yet, Leann, to make sure you're like a founder member, as I like to say, and you've got the whole thing. Because if you join us at like, number 7, and then we get to like number 100, these will become, well, like hen's teeth, as you say.
Yep.
Getting from the start, make sure you've got the whole collection, and you can do it in the most affordable way. If you're spreading the cost on ClearPay, your first instalment for UK customers will be £4.87. I'll explain more about ClearPay in just a few moments. But loads and loads in there, Leann.
Loads, and this is the second one that you're getting in that collection. And this one I believe is box fresh, Joe. Ooh. So as we open it up, you can see you've got all of that beautiful design. Now look, can I just show you? This is how we're always learning at Crafters Companion. I just want to show you something. This was the first one we did. We opened it up and I thought, nice, but boring. Look at all that green. What's going on there? Let's show everybody what they're getting in the magazine. So we've taken that space and we've shown you the beautiful papers that you've got in there. So you've got all of us a little library, a reference point to them, so you can see what you're getting. This will all be wrapped with a belly band. You can see the pattern on the little packets has changed because it's for your lovely free gifts that you're getting in here. And then you've got all of your beautiful, beautiful scrapbook papers as well. And look, these are designer scrapbook papers. This isn't, we've downloaded 27 files off the internet and there you go. No. We are designing beautiful quality scrapbook papers in a look, a feel, a style which works with the content in the magazine.
And I'd say we're becoming very famous for our papers at the moment, wouldn't you? It's become one of the things that we're now known for in the industry.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Yes, we have got a huge following for our scrapbook papers. We have Paperpad in our team, don't we? And Paperpad, do you know? Yes. Paperpad, who does all of our pad design for us now. She's phenomenal. And we are rivaling some of the big names, I think,
Absolutely.
Joe. The quality's good, but the design is exceptional. And you can see in this magazine as we flick through, oh look, we're meeting George in this magazine. It's our George, and then we're also meeting behind the scenes as well. Lovely Ashley. She's beautiful, isn't she? She's an absolute
inside and out.
She absolutely inside and out. And then we've got this Sassy. This is me and you, Joe.
It is.
Sassy
Which one's which?
I
think we're both a bit of both, aren't we?
I think we're both a bit of both, yeah. And you can be more sassy sometimes. You've got a lot of sass.
Can be notoriously unclassy at times as well. So
can I.
You make your mind up.
Yeah, you choose. You tell us in our chat session which one of us is sassy, which one of us is classy. Yeah, I love those stamps. We're going to be showing you how to colour some of these actually in this 3-hour show that we've got. And you can see beautiful step-by-steps there. Just crammed full again, Joe, of fabulous tutorials, lots of education, lots of inspiration, lots of how-to, taking you by the hand, asking the experts, solving your problems.
Sarah Hopkins says as well, Sarah Hopkins, I love the Crafts Inspiration magazine. I was unwell recently. People bought other craft magazines for me, but they just do not compare to the Crafters Companion ones. It's lovely to know.
That's really good to know. I'll just flick past that feature. This is my favourite feature. This set of stamps, this is with our lovely, look at our Nicole again. She's such a guru when it comes to anything stamp, and I can't think of another word for her. She's amazing. But this set of stencils that we did with the ink and techniques, I did this on a demo here and you all went mad for it, where I had the little silhouette around the tree. To have this in here to show you with that range that you will have bought from us, but have Nicole talk you through and show you how to get these fabulous results so you can achieve that at home. I love that in this magazine, that we're not just focusing on what you've got in here, we're focusing on lots of other Crafters Companion products that you will have bought from us, and we're teaching you how to use them and giving you lots of sneak peeks. I think it's fantastic, Joe.
Really, really gorgeous. And why not get it whilst it's on that amazing price? If you're tightening your budget slightly in the new year and you're here in the UK, don't worry. We can help you spread the cost of your payments if you are a UK-based customer. It's ClearPay that we're talking about, and you get it today. First instalment of £4.87. 3 further instalments. You pay £4.87 today, and then the other 3 payments in 2-week intervals. If you want to pay for it outright, of course you can do that as well. You can see all the different ways you can shop over on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.eu. Hit the shop the show show button. That shows you everything that's going to be coming up actually over the 3 hours that we've got here. Marcia says, I love those new magazines so much. Kay says, paint me green and call me a pickle. Joe, that's why we love you. I love you too, Kay. Thank you very much for that. Shadaya as well saying hi and telling us how fabulous the lovely Leann looks. If you want to get in touch, remember we are fully interactive here at Crafters TV. That even means that, like, say during one of Leann's demos, she mentioned something and you missed it, you can message me, ask me the specific question that you wanted to know, and I can get Leann to recap it for you. Truly, truly interactive. Marcia says, I think Leann makes Sassy classy.
Oh,
there you are.
Thank you, Marcia.
She is. She is very sassy, though. She's always giving it the 3-point finger click to me.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff we're going to share with you throughout the course of the day. Don't forget as well, get your questions in. We'll do a bit of a Q&A towards the centre point of this show. And you can ask us absolutely everything. What my favourite Eurovision song is. What is Leann's favourite beauty product?
Ooh.
What's her skincare routine? Because she is radiant today. I'm sure you'll agree. Honestly, she's looking gorgeous over there.
Smoke and mirrors, darling. Smoke and mirrors. It's all the good product.
Yeah, exactly. It is. You've got to, you know. I'm just going to stop talking now. Ashton says, I love the increasing attention to being environmentally friendly. A lot less plastic in those magazines, which is fabulous. That is a really, really great point. And the thing is, you're going to hang on to those binders as well, which is great. So you're going to store your items in there. You're going to build that library of inspiration, which is fantastic. So make sure you get 1 and 2, and then when 3 comes out in the near future, you'll be able to get your crafty paws on that as well. But I do believe Leann is going to treat us to a little demonstrazione from this. That is Italian for demonstration. If you weren't aware,
oh my
Leann.
word, that's good. We'll have more Italian in this show.
I
Yes,
know.
please. And maybe a pizza after.
Oh.
Who knows? I mean, that would be gorgeous.
Oh, and a liquor gelato. Why not?
Oh yeah, gelato. What's your favourite flavour of gelato? Let us know that.
Oh,
or
yes,
ask us what
please.
ours is, because I think I've got an idea what yours
Well,
is.
you know that it's not even just a specific. It's not a flavour of gelato. It's a specific flavour of gelato from a specific gelateria in a specific location. I even did a 1.5 hour detour when I was in Tuscany back in October to go and have said ice cream for the second time. It tastes, Leann, like a Rolo yogurt. It's a buttered, salted caramel. Oh, I could just slather myself in it. Oh, it's so good.
I mean, I could literally just do a Vicar of Dibley and dive into a whole tub of the head first. Just head in.
First,
That just
absolutely.
raw. Also, I think I'm going to encourage, talking about sassy and classy, I'm going to encourage all of the sassy in my granddaughters.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I really want them to be sassy.
Has Ada got a bit of sass about her?
Ada has got a bit of sass about her.
Ada is Leann's adorable
She's a gorgeous granddaughter. I love her so much, of course. She's my granddaughter. But she's got all of the sass going down.
Fabulous.
And then, of course, Edith is on the way. She's arriving in April.
Oh, Ada and Edith.
Ada
what
and
lovely
Edith.
names.
And we're going to encourage all of the sassy and classy in her too.
Fabulous.
All of the sass. We're going, when she was up at Christmas, I was teaching her the 3-finger.
Were you?
Yeah. I mean, she can't click, but she was doing that to her daddy. So we're already on the trajectory. Right. So what I've got here is a lovely demo with our issue 2 magazine. And I've taken out of my little gift to myself, I've taken out my embossing folder, and it's this beautiful, detailed filigree edge. Now what I've done is just create myself from a sheet of cardstock a fold back gatefold card. So that is scoring it here and then here at equal measurements so that they meet in the middle. Because we've got viewers UK, Europe and USA, I'm not going to give you the exact measurements, but as long as and it really doesn't matter, as long as your piece of card does that, and finishes up in the middle.
Is that a card blank on your Ultimate Pro?
Yes,
it is.
It is. So if you've got the Ultimate Pro, follow those instructions. That's the card fold that you want. And if you really want the measurements, I can get a ruler out and show you them. Let us know. It's not a problem. So then I'm going to take my little folder and I'm just going to line it up on one of those outside edges. Voila. And then I'm going to run it through my machine. Now I'm just checking. See, I think I need it this way. I need to push the design up. Yes, so I'm going to put the folder on this way.
That's a good point then. How do you determine what way round that goes, Leann?
That is, so if you feel for the deboss, And then for, so where the design's pushed in and where the design sticks out, what you need is for it to push the design up. So the
when we
fold is
talk
going to go that
about
way.
embossing, are we talking about the card moving forward, coming up from the design? And when we talk about debossing, we're talking about it moving away, behind, back.
Going behind.
Because I always get debossing and embossing. There was something on something the other day, it was sort of printed into it, stamped into it, and I called that embossing, but actually that's debossing, isn't it?
It is.
Now we know. There you are.
In deboss, outie, emboss.
Which is sort of opposite to what your brain wants to tell you, isn't it?
Maybe your brain.
Maybe we could just write to the manager and ask them to change it.
Yeah, we could.
With the manager of language.
Yeah, with the manager of language,
Brilliant.
with the Oxford Dictionary, whoever they are, the people in charge of the Oxford Dictionary. People in Oxford.
I reckon
change that.
Do you know who lives in Oxfordshire actually? And talking of classy, is the lovely Astrid. And Astrid says, Joel, I can't remember if I've told you this before. My nickname is Sassy because when I was little, that was what I'd say when I tried to say Astrid.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That is cute.
So
You've got to keep that name. That's brilliant. Right, so I've done the same on both sides of my card. You can see that embossed detail there. Then all you do is take your scissors and just do a fussy cut around the edge. Now, please don't worry about being too accurate, but actually a top tip from me to get more accuracy is get a big pair of scissors.
Oh, and our scissors are... They're the best scissors in the world as far as I'm concerned.
Well, they are, aren't they? They're fantastic. They're phenomenal. And then keep the jaw of your scissor open like this. So you've got your scissor open. Your card goes into the jaw right down to the edge. So don't cut, when you're fussy cutting, don't cut with the tip.
They are
cut
sharp
right
to
at the
the tip,
bottom.
though, aren't they?
They are sharp. I'll show you that. Cut right down at the jaw, and then you hardly have to close it at all. And what you do is you move your card. So actually, the scissors are just moving up and down a little bit, but you can see I'm moving, I've got a hold of, and I'm moving my card. And that allows me to fussy cut, good detail, without snipping bits off I don't want, without getting an irregular border or margin. And I can just really follow that design around. And you see this hand is doing all of the work, my left hand. My right hand with a scissor, because I'm cutting into the jaw, is actually staying still.
Leann, I don't think I ever asked you this. How did you get into crafting for anyone that's joining us for the first time today?
That's a really good question. So I've always been crafty.
Yeah.
My mum would have us making Christmas decorations, would be stringing paper streamers from the ceilings, making tissue paper flower balls. I was taught to crochet and knit at the age of 4 by my mum and my grandma.
Nice.
I've done needle crafting, tapestry, cross stitch, embroidery, all of that. My mum, and cake decorating, baking, sewing, taking clothes up, making pom-pom animals for jumble sales. Really just a lot of crafty things. I had a very responsible job in the NHS, and I was having a particularly challenging time, and I needed an escape, Joe. And I turned on to Create and Craft and seen just flicked the channel, saw the gorgeous Jane Nesterenko making...
Is she the Zentangly lady?
She was the mandala, the glittered mandala lady.
That's the one, yeah.
And she was doing heat embossing with the powders and glittered mandalas. And I thought, I want to do that. So I bought a load of stuff, got it home, had a fantastic time, and then continued and still continue to buy a load of stuff. And then my papercraft journey just grew from there. And actually Michelle Marsden, if you remember her, she used to work for Red Hot Bed and do a lot of those fantastic fussy paper kits. Introduced me to Sarah. Red Hot Bed, that's what the company was called.
Sounds a bit saucy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Red Hot Bed, that's what they were called. And it was because of the heat embossing, the Red Hot Beds for foiling. When you apply heat for foiling, just to be clear on that. She introduced me to Sarah, and the rest, as they say, is history. There you go. That's how it's happened, Joe.
Skip, how many years have you been with Crafts Companion now?
It was my 12th year this year on the 4th of January.
Amazing.
Employed, but I was working with Sarah as like on the DT and doing other things with the company for approximately 2 years before that. So working with Sarah for 14, employed by the company 12.
We met about 11 years ago, 10 years ago, I would say.
Would you say?
I think so. You were doing a Ultimate Pro Pick of the Day, I believe.
Oh my gosh, you've got a good memory.
Ideal World. I used to work on Ideal World, which was one shopping channel. Leanne was on Create and Craft. They were in the same building, weren't they?
In the same green room.
And on a Tuesday night, we used to have a crafting pick of the day that launched on Ideal World. So, but we also shared a green room, the two channels. So that was where me and Leanne became friends. We'd sit and exchange skincare tips, wouldn't we, and talk about fabulous things like food and champagne, and I'd give her recipes, she'd give me skincare tips. And that's how we became friends. It is literally like one big family here at Crafter's Companion. So lots of questions coming in as well for our Q&A, which we will be doing a little later in the show. If you want to get your questions answered, whether they're crafty related, whether they're just about us, or maybe there's a general knowledge question, a burning question you've got. They are all relevant. Get them into me. Crafters TV over on Facebook. Crafters Companion if you are across on YouTube. Sarah says, can I just say to you all on CC, you don't realise the impact you have on my daughter's anxiety in the morning before she leaves for school. Since you've been on in the morning, she leaves calm and ready. Well, I am pleased with that, Sarah. It's so lovely to have you watching us. And, of course, your lovely daughter, Lily. What time does school start? I'm just a bit concerned. I don't want to get stuck in traffic. What time does school start? Ours used to start at like 8:15 from memory, Leanne. It was really, really early. I think it's because we lived, and you could go to morning club from like 7 at my school, or 6:45. I think it's because we lived in a commuter town to London. So a lot of people had to drop their kids off really early before they got the train into London, which took, half an hour, 40 minutes. So, but what time do kids start school these days? Wouldn't it be lovely if you were still on school time? At school time, it felt like the longest day in the world. But we went home at 2:45 some days. Yeah,
well, so my school day was 9 a.m. till 3:10. Nice. And then because I'm the oldest of 4, very convenient. When I was in the senior school, then the junior school got out at 3:30, so I'd go and pick up my brother from the junior school. Then the infant school got out at 4:45, and I'd pick him up, and I'd get my sister from the childminder, and then take them all home.
Sounds like the little house on the prairie.
I know. I was like Laura Ingalls. I was absolutely just gathering up all the children and taking them home.
Like the Pied Piper.
I was like the Pied Piper, yes. Or some have actually referred to me as the child catcher, because I used to catch all the children on the way home, because there was actually a couple of families who lived in the same cul-de-sac. Sounds very posh, it wasn't. I used to pick their children up as well because I was already on the way. So I literally had like a little drove of...
Nice.
I used to get them all to hold hands, everybody hold hands, walk in single file. No, nobody cross the road till I say stand behind me.
You've always been bossy then, Leanne.
I've always been bossy. Bossy is a good word. Yes, I wasn't always sassy, but I was always bossy.
Amazing.
100%. Comes from being the oldest child, doesn't it? Right, so I found my blending tool. And we've got my fussy cut fold back card here. So you see I've fussy cut both sides. And I'm just using a little bit of Harmony water reactive ink. And all I'll do is just pick that up and rub over with the blending tool. And you see you can pick up all of that beautiful emboss detail there. And where it was lovely before was white on white, it starts to really come to life, I think, when you add a little bit of ink to that, Joe, because it reveals all of that beautiful, beautiful design.
Rebecca says, Leanne, how uncanny. I'm a nurse in the NHS working mental health, and I turned to craft to relax following the stresses of the pandemic. I've also cross-stitched since childhood, but making cards is now my new escape. I love that for you, Rebecca. It's great, isn't it? I just think craft in itself is a very mindful thing, Joe, because it isn't time for you. Now, what I like to do as well when I've done this is sometimes I just take my Harmony Water Reactive. Is this an approved Leanne method?
This is an approved Leanne method. Look at the difference. So I've done the blending of the colour behind, but just by picking up the ink pad and I'm whispering it. So do not, I'll do it on one and then...
All right.
It'll be a case of do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
What you don't want to do is go, oh, that looks good what Leanne did. Because you'll get great big like lumps of it. So you just want to whisper it across.
If anyone uses the products in a way that has not been approved by Leanne, they end up in the law court of Leanne, don't they?
Yes, you do. You end up in the law court of Leanne. Yeah.
It's very strict court.
It's a very strict court.
There's no jury. The judge is Leanne, and what Leanne says goes. There's no right to appeal either.
I am judge, jury, and convictor.
You are.
In the law court of Leanne.
You are indeed.
I have been known, I mean, you can ask any of the guests that come on, I have been known when watching a show to send them an email and say, that's not approved.
Yeah. I think we could have like a spin-off show here on Crafters Crafters TV of Leann, like Judge Judy, but could be called Judge Chivs maybe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Joe, I'm loving this.
I could see you in like one of those things, get with a hammer, order. I think it'd be amazing. Taken down.
I can tell you, Joe, as the kids would say these days, I'm here for that.
Yeah, I'm here for that. We just keep moving, as the kids say, which is not what they say. Apparently they say we move, but I try and get down with the kids and say we just keep moving. And someone went the other day, that is not even what the kids say.
Really? That sounds like something I would do,
We just keep
Joe.
moving.
We just keep moving. Right. Well, Heather Small, she encouraged us to do that back in the 80s.
No, she said moving on up, is what she said.
Is that what you... Oh, well, there you go, you see.
I think it was probably the late 90s as well. Not that I want to split hairs, Leann.
Was it the late 90s? See, that's what happens when you've been on the planet as long as me. One decade morphs into the next, and you can't identify the decade you're talking about. So I'm using some of that beautiful scrapbook paper that comes in your collection as well. I've just done a little bit of matting and layering with a piece of complimentary green cardstock. In issue 2, you get these beautiful, beautiful perfume bottle stamps, which I absolutely adore. I've stamped it once here on the green card in green, Harmony Water Reactive, the same colour. Just done a little bit of draw out of the colour, inked around the back. It looks very ethereal, doesn't it?
Reminds me of one of our favourite brands, Leann.
Yes.
You know the one I mean?
Yes, I do know the one you mean.
It's a very French one. I'm going to say it, L'Occitane.
L'Occitane.
Yeah.
It's very L'Occitane. We love a bit of L'Occitane, don't we, Joe?
Or L'Occitane, as one of my Scouse friends called it recently.
Oh my God, that's funny.
L'Occitane.
I had a friend who said she really wanted some of that Yves Saint Laurent perfume. And I mean, I had to keep a straight face, and then I couldn't keep a straight face anymore, and I had to tell her it's not Yves Saint Laurent at all, darling.
Funny. My brother said that to a friend that maybe he should buy his girlfriend some beautiful lingerie, which was always one of my favourites.
Lingerie, fantastic, yeah. We all need a bit of lingerie in our life. It sounds like a pasta dish, doesn't it?
It does. Prawn lingerie?
Yeah, I'll have a prawn and clam and chilli and white wine lingerie, thank you. So I've stamped it again on this fabulous piece of strippy paper, and then you can see what I've done is just fussy cut some of the little pieces out because I'm going to stick them on. So I've cut out the top of the bottle, I've cut out the flower, and I've cut out the little piece for the neck of the bottle there, the little whatever that is. I'm trying to think of the name and I can't. It'll come to me in a minute.
Oh, you'll get there, don't worry.
I'll get there. And then I'm going to stick these on. So I'm going to put them onto my little green topper. And what that'll do is just add a little bit of highlight to it. It just makes it stand out a little bit more. Adds a little bit of je ne sais quoi. Now I've lost my flower. Did you see where oh, it's here. There it is. Pop the flower on as well. There we go. And then I'm going to get some 3D glue gel. And I'm going to layer all of these pieces up inside because it's all about the dimension. That can go on there.
Oh, I wonder what this scent would be in here.
Ooh.
I reckon it would be like maybe some citrus, the base notes. What one do you get first, the top notes or the base notes?
You get the top notes first.
Top notes, quite citrusy, I'm thinking.
Top notes first.
Well, I think it would be, then maybe, and the middle notes would be like something gorgeous like vetiver or something like that.
I love vetiver.
And then I don't know what the base notes would be. Maybe a little bit like tobacco or sandalwood in the base notes. What are you thinking?
A nice sandalwood.
Yeah.
Musky.
I'm not really into my ouds. I'm more
I'm more
into the sandalwood kind of, even the tobacco-y ones as well, quite nice.
I do love an oud, Joe, I have to say. Yeah, especially as a home fragrance.
A friend of mine is from the Middle East, and some of the fragrances that he buys from the Middle East, you can buy like pure oud, and he gets it sent in from like Egypt. Oud is a scent, basically, which is the base note for a lot of, especially men's fragrances, very, very popular in men's fragrances. A lot of the very big perfume houses do oud-based scents. Like Creed do one, don't they? It's
they do, and
I think of money.
I think oud is from a woody root. I think it's like a, it's like a earthy organic smell.
Yeah.
Earthy organic smell. That's what I'm going to say. It's gorgeous. Oud is one of my favourite smells, and actually my son does love an oud aftershave. Nice. Anything with oud in he loves.
Lavender's one of my favourite smells.
I love lavender.
It's gorgeous.
So my son's partner bought me from a well-known shop in the UK some sleepy cream for Christmas.
Oh, the one that I've tried as well.
The one that you've tried.
I've got it as a face mask, mine.
Oh my word.
Was it brilliant? Because if it's brilliant, I think we're allowed to say. I think we're just not allowed to say if we're saying, something nasty about it.
Oh no, well yes, so it is. It's brilliant. I love it. I can't.
Is it the one from Lush?
Yes, the one from Lush.
Oh, I love Lush.
I can never be without it, Joe. It's really helping me sleep. I'm having very sound sleep, which I've been struggling with of late.
Well, I tried my pillow spray last night for the first time.
Yeah.
Which was lavender, chamomile, and vetiver. And oh my word. You know, like when you're a kid and you go to your nan's house and everything smells gorgeous?
Yes.
It's like getting into bed and being sort of cocooned in that smell, Leann. It's so lovely.
I'm going to try some of that, Joe. I really feel like that would be right up my strata.
And also, I love that all of that was evoked from putting a card together. Wasn't it? Looking at that imagery, we went on a whole journey about fragrance sleep and beauty. And I think you're going to be able to evoke those memories for someone else when you give them this card.
Absolutely you are. Now look at how those colours are all coming together. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? With those papers, with the matting and layering, with that little perfume bottle. I've got so much I want to show you in these next hours that we've got left. I'm going to fast forward and show you what I did to finish it off. Now you can choose to put your papers here, or you can put them inside. And actually I'm going to peel these off here because I feel I want all of the papers everywhere. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but when I'm crafting, I'll have an idea and I go with that idea and then I change my mind at the last minute. And Collal all-purpose glue, which is what I used here, allows you to change your mind at the last minute, because look, I've just whipped it off that other card and I've popped it on there now.
Why is it the best glue in the world, Leann?
Oh, Joe, how long have you got?
In our opinion.
I mean, in our opinion, in my opinion, how long have you got?
Which is always right, as far as I'm concerned.
Of course it is. It is absolutely right. So it is phenomenal for matting and layering, because your paper will not go wavy. With a water-based glue, it'll sink in, it goes wavy and distorts and just looks a mess on your card. It sets like absolute concrete. So it's very, very firm when it's glued together. So it makes a less expensive cardstock feel like a very expensive cardstock. It isn't going to dry out and fall apart in the central heating. So if you're making keepsakes and heirlooms, then they're going to be there in 10 years when somebody gets it out of the cupboard, still as pristine as the day you gave it to them, which double-sided tape will not do. That will dry out and fall apart in time. It's just the nature of the beast. So it bonds all of the fibres together. If you get it on a beautiful piece of scrapbook paper, it just rubs straight off. I can show you that. So let's say I'm gluing.
We've got a bundle of that on the show today, along with the tacky glue and the chunky glue. What I would say is, if you are running low on the all-purpose glue, I know we are coming towards the end of this batch of stock. We of course will restock it, but get it now. Get it now.
So there's a little, well, quite a large globule of glue that I've put there, Joe, onto my beautiful scrapbook paper. And I'm talking to you a few seconds so you can see you don't have to be immediate in removing it, because all you would do then is just take it away and rub it off. And it's gone.
Boom.
So it doesn't spoil the surface of your scrapbook papers either. If you make a little mess, you can clean that up and rub it away, and it will set like concrete, and you'll have something which feels very expensively constructed but will never fall apart. It is absolutely the best glue, and you've got that repositionability as well, because it's a wet glue. So you seen what I did. I started to make this one, peeled them off, put them on this one. I didn't add any more glue, and they will be stuck firmly. Excellent. So it is brilliant. And that was just a really pretty little card there, made using the freebies in the magazine.
Absolutely.
With a little bit of ink, that's all.
Yeah, really, really brilliant. And that's one of 70 projects in one of these magazines, or 75 in one of them. And the other one's got 60 projects. So amazing that you're going to be able to do all those projects. Just the magazines alone, without thinking about the freebies, they are excellent value. You've got papers in there, lots of crafty hardware as well. And a brilliant opportunity, if you've not yet grabbed one of our magazines, to get in from the very start. We've reconfigured and redesigned the magazine for you. 1948 if you are here in the UK, $29.92 if you're in the US. You may see as well, maybe you're noticing for the first time, that oh, shush now. Siri's very excited about the magazine deal. You're actually on theatre mode, so you should be shushing up right now. ClearPay, this little box down here. What is ClearPay? Now, it's something that's open to UK residents. It's just us helping you spread the cost of your crafty goodies here at Crafters Companion. So, add your favourites into your cart. You just need to make sure you're spending between £30 and £1,000, which most transactions are here at Crafters TV. Then you select the ClearPay option promotion at checkout, which is fantastic. Log into or create a ClearPay account. If you've already got a ClearPay account, brilliant. You'll be able to check out in no time. It'll take a couple of minutes for you to set it up, and then also your purchases are split into 4 instalments. So you'll pay a quarter of the cost of your shopping today, and then the other instalments are separated at 2-week intervals, which is great. Just helping you to spread the cost, which I think is wonderful. Shop now, pay later, and you know the bit I love, always interest free. So we're letting you spread the cost at no extra cost, which I think is excellent. Right, we're going to come back in a few moments with a sort of mini masterclass Tri-Blend 101 with the inventor of these, let's face it. And me and Leann actually did the world launch of these. We'll tell you more about that on the other side of this.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together, and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes, and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours. I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing. Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up. I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
We do create every day. Mischief, mayhem, lols. Sometimes we even make cards as well, which is fantastic. Loads of you chatting away with me and commenting along, which I love chatting. I've missed you guys as well. I was away for 5 whole days. So it's lovely to be back. I'm here with you for 4 days now. We're back on sort of our regular shift pattern again, which is brilliant. A lot of people talking about how they got into crafting. Shadai says, I first did crafting when I was 6 years old. I received a ceramic kit that were coasters. I received it as a gift from our Prime Minister's daughter. Shadiah moves in high circles, doesn't she? She has got friends in high places, and that was years ago. I wonder if you still got the coaster, Shadiah. Let me know. Mrs. Simmons says, Leann, it is so interesting hearing about your crafty background. I love this new show where there is time to chat about all sorts of things. Then it also says, oh, same for you, Joe. Thank you. Thanks for the thought. Leanne says, how uncanny. Oh, I did that one, Rebecca there. Beth says, making cards helps my anxiety. Now, I'm not a doctor. I don't know if you worked that out yet. But obviously, if that's your... I know we talk to a lot of people that say, because it is something that's mindful, they really enjoy doing it. Christine Mahoney says, craft wars with Judge Chivers. Now, that could be a goer. Evangeline says, I work at a local hospital. CC shows help me deal with the pandemic stress. Love card making, and now I've got into quilling as well. Love quilling. You make some beautiful things with that. Pat Powell Pavlek. That is a great name, Pat. I don't know how I managed to say that. Pat Powell Pavlak. Loving it. It's 3:30 in the morning here in Clover, South Carolina. And she says, lucky I was already up. Great demo, Leanne. Questions coming in about ink pads. We'll note those down from Elisa. We were doing a Q&A in this show. A lot of love coming in for that card as well from Rhiannon and Kathy. Nee loved it too, as did Mrs. Simmons, Kay. Honestly, all the love today for that. Right, we're going to move on. I need to just remind you as well, the deal on our amazing craft kits, they're not a craft kit, is now live over on the website. Selected ones, 40% off, which is absolutely fantastic. So snap them up whilst you can. There is if you go over to New Year, New Craft, is something we're talking a lot about through January, maybe trying something you haven't tried before. These are a perfect opportunity because they are a sort of genre of craft in a box, and you also got full video tutorials as well at crafterscompanionbox.com, which is wonderful. But we're going to be talking about these. I think I'm right in saying, Leanne, we did the world launch of these, you and I, didn't we? Where were we? We were over on Crafters Companion. We are on Crafters Companion now.
Yeah.
On Create and Craft.
We were on Create and Craft.
We used to work, because I used to be then I was a presenter at Create and Craft, wasn't I, for a little
while?
While? And then you guys came back to Create and Craft, and that's where we launched these.
Absolutely.
I've been around, me.
We launched our call tools together. We had some good launches, Joe.
And they're now both upside down. This is like one of those games, isn't it? Yeah, I've been around, is what I was saying, Leanne.
Yes,
I get about.
Also, when I think about it, we've had some good launches together because we launched our Harmony Water Reactor Feed
and we did all of our tools together.
And our core tools.
Yeah, I used to get all the good shows.
You had all the good stuff,
and
Joe.
it hasn't changed. I get all the good stuff. Now I only get all the good stuff, let's face it.
Yeah.
We are going to look at the tri-blend pens in this next section of the show. If you want to start your colouring journey, I know New Year, New Craft is something we're talking a lot about. I mean, I don't think there's a better starting point. I'm trying to find an open one in here. I've just ripped the box. Me and packaging, not friends. Let me just... Erin said she was going to grass me up, Mr. John. How rude. Let me share with you what you're getting then in here. So rather than having traditional alcohol markers where you have a separate colour per pen, what you've got here is ascending shades of the same colour in the one pen. So you've got a dark blend, you've got a medium tone, and a light tone, and they're all housed in one marker. You can flip these around, go from light to medium to dark, and get beautiful, beautiful blending. What I would also say is we've got full 2-hour Colour Me Happy presentations. That's our weekly destination colouring show on these very pens over on our website. If you love colouring or you want to learn to love colouring, then we have a show for you every Sunday. It is midday here in the UK. It's called Colour Me Happy, which is brilliant. So join us for that as well. These though, Leanne, I think fair to say, these revolutionised the colouring market, didn't they, when we first brought these to market?
They really did, Joe, because it takes all of the mystery out of what you want to do and just makes it very, very achievable for you. I'm going to stamp. I've been having a nice time stamping. You might have heard me patting away in the background. I'm just going to stamp.
You're a very noisy stamper, may I say.
I am a noisy stamper.
You are.
And I'm making no apology for it, Joe. Because I want to get all of my ink on that stamp. I want to make sure I only stamp it once. And I'm just going to do it, Joe. And I'm not going to pay attention to the fact that I might be making a noise in the background. That's my sassy side coming out, Joe. That's what's happening there.
Lady here as well.
She is. She's telling, shh. That's what she's saying.
She's a shusher.
She's
like a librarian.
She is. She's like, be quiet.
Very glamorous librarian, I'll add.
Oh gosh, yeah. Can you imagine? You see, that's what happens. I'm going to have to do it again.
Oh no, do you know what you should have used?
I should use our
Where's
stamping
your stamping
mat.
platform?
Yeah, my platform.
Leanne, you will end up in your own law court.
I will end up in my own law court, but as it is, I've got many more images stamped, so it's fine. Now, let's start with the tri-blend. Are they coming in the case, or is the case just because that's how I've got mine stored?
You do? I didn't even tell you about the case. How rude of me.
Oh my
You've
word.
got a case over there. You can tell them about the case.
Let me tell you about this case, because I've got all of those 2 boxes of tri-blend in there, plus you're getting this case, which is truly fabulous for keeping them organised and making them portable. So it's got a fabulous grab handle at the top. You've got a zipped compartment at the back for your stamping card, for whatever it is you want to pop in there, your rubber stamps, whatever you're travelling with. I keep pieces of perfectly cut stamping card, Nina, or our alcohol marker card in there, is what I do with mine. And then it's velcroed together here at the front. So when you open your Velcro, what you can do is keep the sides together. I'll just show you this because I don't do this with mine, but you can. So the sides go together, which make it into a case. But when you want to lie this down and work with it, you open that Velcro, and that allows your whole case to lie down so that you can use the pens in there. And then when you're ready to travel again, you just take the 2 little side pieces out, stick them together, and you've got an enclosed case again to travel with. You've got one of those on either side. Inside the bag, you've got some capacious pockets in here.
Love that word.
Loads of
Are they
stuff to
gusseted?
stuff. They are slightly gusseted.
Slightly gusseted, lovely.
And so you've got lots of space in there.
I also love the word gusseted. I don't know if you worked that out. So
I do like that word.
shoehorn that in.
Yeah, do just
Thank you.
say it several times, Joe. Make yourself
Gusset,
feel
gusset,
better.
gusset.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
And you can fit your rocker blocks in there. You can fit your ink pads in there. You can fit your stamps in there. Whatever it is you want to. So you've got all of that storage. The great thing is as well, though, if you're short of desk space and you just want to use your markers, you don't want that bag lying out there. This base piece is also velcroed in. So the base piece with your markers will come out. You can put that to the side till you're ready to travel with it again, and then you can just use your storage with your markers here and move around and see which marker it is you would like. What I do is I line that up in front of myself like that so I can see my markers, and so it just makes it very easy, and the fact that that's free is phenomenal. Now, tri-blend. Let's get onto the marker itself. I just want to show you these colours. So what you've got is our first launch of colours, which was the Essential Blends.
Kathy C is asking if we store these standing up in the bag or we lay them down when we store them.
Lay them down.
Lay them down, fabulous.
Lay them down. I would always lay them down. I'm just looking at the colours I've got on this one because I'm going to colour with this next. Yes, that's the one. So we've got all of the colours that we launched here, you can see. And you can see there are 3 colours in one marker. So if I look at the dark red blend here, and this is the marker I was just getting out to show you, you can see you've got a light, a medium and a dark tone. And what you've got on your pen itself, and I'm just going to turn this round so you can, they're all pointing in the same direction. There we go. You can see you've got your light colour, your mid colour and your dark colour, and it points to the end of the pen which has those 3 colours in for you, so it guides you along the way. And this is my tri-blend dark red blend with DR1, 3 and 4 in, and I can see that this is the light colour, this is the medium colour, this is the dark colour. So those are the 3 colours that I need to get a perfect blend, and all of those pens you're getting in that box with 3 colours in every pen. So if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows there, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so there's 24 pens times 3 colours, 72 colours in that box, which is fantastic.
So you get 144 across the 2 packs.
Yeah, over 4 packs.
And then you
phenomenal.
look at the price, well, you're looking at around about £1 per pen, essentially, which is great. Brilliant that we offer ClearPay, especially on an item like this where you want it. You know you're going to get loads of use out of it, but maybe it's a little bit of a considered purchase. If you're a UK customer, you can pay £40 today. Of course, if you are a platinum member, that becomes £32 today, and then the other 3 payments spread at 2-week intervals. It's great that we now offer that, don't you think, Leanne?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I think that ClearPay is phenomenal, really, for making things that you might have considered affordable so you can get them and try them at home. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, the dark blends that you've got here, the deep blends, are a continuation of those colours but extending the colour range for you. So the concept's the same. You've still got your 24 markers, 72 colours that you can see here. And then you can see that you've still got your 3 colours in each marker. 3 different colours in each marker to give you that medium to darker shade. But what I wanted to do was just bring in, if we look at dark red shades here, and then I bring my dark red one in here, what you've got is a continuation of this colour family, and that continues all the way through. So we've got bright pink blend and bright pink here, you can see those 2. So these are the darker tones of this colour family, which extends the ability for you to get all of that depth and dimension in your colouring. And you don't have to choose, you're getting both boxes of those markers. Now let me show you what I mean and how that works together in practicality. Now when you're colouring with your alcohol markers at home, you do need to always colour onto the correct cardstock. So you need to be colouring onto something which is smooth, not porous, not coated.
Why is that, Leanne?
So if you colour onto, I can actually show you. Let me grab a piece of card from down here. I'm going to show you in real time. So that's a piece of stamping card. I'm going to get a piece of my, what have I done with it? I've put it somewhere, Joe, and can't see it, love.
Oh, you have a rummage.
Oh, I'm having a rummage,
got it?
Joe. No, I've lost
No, you
it.
rummage, don't you worry.
I found it.
It's a very special lady's birthday today, I need to tell you.
Oh.
It is the gorgeous Susie T's birthday today. Happy birthday, Susie T. It's so lovely that she's here. She's watching on YouTube, I believe. Johnny's here. Do you want to pop in and say hello, John? Pop in. There he is. not sure what he's crying for. So it's Susie T's birthday. You should have said happy birthday to Susie T. We missed it. There you go.
Happy birthday,
happy
Susie.
birthday from Leanne. Happy birthday from all of us here at Crafters TV. She is an absolute treasure, Susie T. Andrea's asking, I'll ask you that actually, and I'll ask you that in our Q&A a little later. We'll be doing a Q&A in the next, when are we doing it, Erin? In the next hour, we're going to do it. So make sure you join us for that. Andrea says, I love the tri-blend pens. I was watching Leanne's demo with them that swayed me. Best investment I've ever made. I love that. Shadaya says, I have the whole tri-blend collection. Love, love, love. I think one of the must purchases. Also worth noting, if you've already got over the essentials of the deep blends, you want to complete your collection, we do have them available both individually on this show as well. So getting them together is going to get you the best value. If you want to complete your collection, you're more than welcome to, which is always nice. Always handy to have the option, isn't it, Leanne?
It really is handy to have the option because you don't need to get what you don't want or you don't need, if that makes sense. Perhaps, I don't know. So I'm going to show you why you need the right cardstock. So I've just been having a little rummage and I've got myself 4 different cardstocks here. I've got our marker card, watercolour card, craft card and regular stamping card. And we're just going to do the point test. Now this really does demonstrate why the right card for the job is so important. I'm going to just hold my tip of my pen on my Nina card for 10 seconds. And I'm not going to apply any pressure, I'm just touching the tip of the pen to the paper.
Okie doke.
So this is the Nina that I've got here. And I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's my dot. This is riveting television, isn't it,
It really
Joe?
is.
Now I'm going to do the same on watercolour card. Same amount of pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh.
Look at the size of my dot.
Massive. Your dot's doubled in size.
It's doubled in size. Now I'm going to do it on the craft card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So not so bad.
Not so bad.
This dot is continuing to grow, by the way. I don't know whether you can actually see that, but it is getting bigger.
It's getting bigger before my eyes.
It's just growing. And then this is stamping card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, massive now.
And I did that in exactly the same way. Now, this is why this type of cardstock is the right cardstock. Because if your card is too porous and too fibrous, it has a capillary action where it sucks the ink out of your pen and it spreads in the fibres. So if you've been trying to colour and finding that and you hear this all of the time on blogs, on people having trouble writing into me on Facebook and saying, my ink bleeds, why is that happening? My colouring's bleeding, it won't stay within the lines, it's extending outside of my lines. The first thing I always ask is, what cardstock are you colouring on? Because if you're colouring on a watercolour, a craft, a stamping card, something which is not specific for alcohol marker colouring, imagine your stamped line is here, then that ink is going to spread, it's going to be porous and soak outside of the line. So it's not the marker that's bleeding. And there's a massive misconception about that. And you'll even hear people who are demonstrating alcohol markers say to you, these markers will not bleed. Well, they will, because they're an alcohol marker. And I get very frustrated by that. I want to write in sometimes and go,
get them in the law court of Leanne.
Get them in the law court of Leanne. You know they'll bleed. It's not the alcohol marker that's bleeding. It's the cardstock you're colouring on that gives you that. So
it's bleeding and annoying is what it is.
Yes, it is blinking annoying. Get the correct cardstock and you will have beautiful, pristine and super blended results. A lot of the time, the frustration you might have with alcohol colouring comes down to the cardstock and not the marker or the technique.
It does indeed. If you want to go for that, if you're using alcohol markers, and not just our alcohol markers, which will work and perform better on Nina cardstock, all alcohol markers as well. So if you've got any brand of alcohol marker, you're not getting the best result from it, maybe you should give some premium quality cardstock a go at, let's face it, non-premium prices. £11 today to get hold of 48 sheets of that. Great value when you compare what you'd go out to a bricks and mortar store and buy that for, Leanne.
Absolutely. I'm just nodding and saying yes, I wasn't listening. Sorry, Joe.
Oh, you weren't listening to what I said?
No.
I was saying the Nina is great value, 48 sheets for £11.
Fantastic value, Joe.
It really is.
Thank you.
You are heading towards that law court today.
I mean, honestly, I was looking at my colours. They were, a little more interesting at that point. Just saying.
You've had a light bulb moment. A light bulb moment for both Jan and Cheryl, who have both been using stamping card and couldn't understand why they weren't getting the perfect result. Now, you know, the lovely Jan Robbins in Ravello on the Amalfi Coast.
Do you know, I think we're going to rename our stamping card to all-purpose card, because it's a good card for all-purpose use. So you could do some colouring on it, pencils, you could use a little bit of your water reactive on there, you could do a little bit of painting on there, but actually watercolour card is better for that, and your marker card obviously is better for your marker colouring. So I think it's misleading that we've called it stamping card, and it's something I keep talking to myself about. I think we are definitely going to change the name to all-purpose card.
What about multi-card?
Multi-card's good, Joe.
Yeah.
Do you want a job in product development?
Do I want a job in product? I don't need another job.
Yeah. Would you like to come and work in my team, Joe?
Maybe as a, what do they call it when someone just gives you, you know, pointers and notes? What's it called?
What, a critique?
No, a consultant. There you go.
A consultant.
Yeah, just like, you know, 3 hours a month.
Oh, well,
if it's a full-time salary, 3 hours a month, I'm in.
Well, that sounds great.
Doesn't
we're all here for that, Joe.
We are. People in the UK, we were reading yesterday, weren't we, Leanne, are trialling a 4-day week, a concept where you get paid 100% of
your salary.
Your salary, but you only do 80% of the work.
Yeah. Or 80% of the time.
80% of the time, but 100% of the work.
100% of the work. I strongly believe that can be achieved. I do think we could be more efficient in our days and do 100% of the work and 80% of the time, as long as we get 100%.
And then
of the
you'd
pay.
have 20% more time to craft.
Yeah, exactly.
Winner.
I mean, that's just. I think we should get to a petition and take it to number 10 for it to be law. You and I.
Yeah, I think
so.
that's it.
I'm using my dark red blend pen, and I've got light, medium, and dark in here. So I've got my DR1, DR3, DR4. I'm going to colour this poppy, and we're going to start with the DR1. So DR1 is the lightest. Now, there are some tips for you when you're using alcohol markers. This is where you start. Always start with the lightest colour. Put that down first. And you're going to go over that lightest colour with other colours, but wet card and wet ink blends better than a wet ink onto a dry card.
Okay.
So we put the first layer down, then we go all the way around to the darkest colour. We take the darkest colour and we add that on top of where we've done the lightest. We never colour the whole piece in. We always leave some white, and that's called preserving your highlight. You then go to the medium colour and you take the medium out into some of your preserved highlight, like that, and then back to your light colour, you fill in your preserved highlight, and that's how you get that 3-colour smooth ombre between 3 colours. And you work on small areas at a time, Joe.
Nice.
Now, if I was to continue colouring this poppy, the next bit I'm going to colour is this petal behind here. So the petal behind, I'm going in with the lightest again. So in with the light. That's what we did before. Wet ink blends much easier. Then I go in with my darkest colour over the top and I extend that a little bit. So I'm getting a nice blend already. The colours are mixing together. Middle of the pen, medium colour. Extend that out into my white area, which is my preserved highlight. Take my lightest colour again. Bring that medium blend out into the preserved highlight. And I've got that beautiful smooth 3-colour ombre on that poppy petal again.
Nice.
Now, to make this one stand out, the one in the middle, I'm going in, because this is a very small area. This is where my advice changes. Because it's a very small area, you don't want to add lots of layers of colour which will fill in that small area very quickly. So I'll actually just go in with the darkest colour straight away here and just tip that in a little bit so you can see, and then I'll go straight to the lightest, dab that into my preserved highlight, and it fills it in for me quickly. So a small area you can do that without the first layer, but not on a larger area, just on the very small ones. So if we do the same petal here, so we go with our lightest colour again.
I love in the northeast where we are, of course, we're in a place called Newton Aycliffe, which is in the Costerdale County Durham, as I like to call it. People would say flower as a nice friendly term. The lady Asda at Spennymoor when I was living up here used to call me flower all the time, and that just made me feel all warm inside.
Yeah, we say flower, we say pet a lot, and we say love. There you go. So there we are.
Maybe people at home could let us know what a friendly greeting is where they live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let us know in the comments. Crafty TV on Facebook, Crafts Companion on YouTube. I love that dimension. I love that depth of field that these pens give you, which I think is incredible, Leanne.
It is, isn't it, Joe? Now, that was using the light blend, the first blend marker, so your blends. And then now I'm going to use the deep shades to do this poppy. And then I'm going to do this poppy using both pens together. So you can see how the sets combine beautifully. So I'm using the exact same technique, but with a different pen. And this time I've got DR5, DR6 and DR7. So DR5 is going on first. So this is now my lightest colour. So you see my technique hasn't changed at all. Just the colours in the pen have changed. Now I'm going in with my darkest shade there. Going for my medium, dragging that colour out. There we go. And then back to my lightest colour and filling in my preserved highlight. And I've still got a beautiful blend on that poppy. It's just much, much deeper in colour, if you can see that there. So we'll do the same again on the rest of the petals. We'll go with the lightest, then over the top with the darkest, because the wet ink blends better. Preserving your highlight all the time, which just means leaving some white space. Then you take the middle of your pen, you drag that dark blend out into your preserved highlight about 2/3 of the way. Go back to your light marker, fill in your preserved highlight, going to the end of where your medium was, so you're blending that colour in. You see you're getting that beautiful blend and depth and dimension on your coloured poppy. And so I'm just going to do again there, and because there's a couple of areas here that are very small, I can do all three at the same time. And because they were very small, I went with the dark and then the light. I didn't need to do the medium in the middle. But I've got a beautiful dimensional poppy, just a much deeper shade to this one here. Now for this larger poppy, what I'm going to do is use both of my pens together. So remember, you've got one in the blend collection and you've got one, I'm just going to move that around so you can see it, one in the blend collection, one in the shade collection. So you've got a light, a medium and a dark in both. And if we read the colour references, we've got DR1, DR3, DR4, DR5, DR6, DR7. So you can see they're all dark red pens. So I'm going to start with the lightest on my blend pen, which is DR1. And I'm going to pop that down on my poppy petal. Let's do this one here, DR1. And then I'm going to go all the way to the darkest on my deep blend pen, which is DR7. And I'm going to put the darkest colour in there. So exactly the same technique as before, a layer of light, then the darkest colour. I'm then going to take the medium pen from my lighter shades, from my blend pen. I'm dragging that dark colour out into there, and then I'm going back to my lightest colour and I'm extending into my preserved highlight. And you can see how it still works, but I've just got a much deeper contrast and shade and colour there in the blend.
Was it Carol, Erin? Carol's asking if you, once you've done your preserved highlight, I'm up and down around this box today, aren't I? I can't stand still. Carol wants to know, once you've done your preserved highlight, do you need to go back over the rest of the whole project again?
No, definitely not. That's what, so I'm going to show you why. Carol, hold that thought till I've coloured these little poppy petals, and I'm going to demonstrate why you wouldn't do that. Because that is another misconception about alcohol markers and blending. The thought that you need to go all the way back over it again to blend. It really isn't about using one marker to go over all the other colours and blending them together. What a blend in an alcohol marker really refers to is the fact that the colours will seamlessly blend together, will move together at the joins and not create straight lines. And I'll show you that in a sec. In fact, let's just move on to it now. You can see what that poppy's doing, can't you?
Really, really beautiful, Leanne.
I'll come back to that in a second. So, if you were, I'm going to put the darkest colour down. Here's the darkest. Here's my dark DR7 colour. And I'm just going to do a nice smooth blend, so I've saturated the card
squeak,
there.
is that okay if we hear that squeaking?
It's just the nib on the card.
Because I don't think I was pressing hard enough when I first used these, and I wasn't getting that squeak.
Oh yes, yes. You don't be scared of them.
Right.
So
quite robust, aren't they, the nibs?
If I tickle the card beside it,
you can still laying down.
It's still laying down, but you can see lines, and you can see the white card under it.
Not saturating it, is it?
It's not saturated. It's not a smooth blend. If I turn my card over so you can see the back, this is what you want. you want the ink to come through to the other side because it's moving in all of the fibres of the card. If you're just coating the surface, you're not going to be able to blend them together. You're just coating the surface of the card.
Right.
So you do want this result.
Love that.
Now if I take my lightest colour, so let's say, you know, when we've done the preserved highlight, the Carol's question, do I go right back over everything again? So let's say I've preserved my highlight, I've done all my dark colouring, I'm going back over with my light colour. If I do this now, what you will see happen is those lines appear more and more vividly. Can you see them coming to the fore there? Now, that is bleaching the colour. So if you go right back over again, the lighter colours have more of the clear alcohol solution in them than the darker colours.
Love that.
So if you go right back over the top of all of your colouring, you're just bleaching it out. You're taking away all of the good work and the dark shade that you put in there and the preserved highlight that you put in there. So you're not helping yourself. So no, definitely don't do that because you will bleach out the colour as I've just shown you there. I'll continue. Shall I continue colouring a little bit of the poppy in, Joe?
Absolutely.
Now,
and as RuPaul would say, if you can't help yourself, how the hell are you going to help somebody else? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Yeah.
Ru would say that. Oh my God, I can't wait for the next series. Right.
Have you seen it? The one that's happening? Have you seen the one that's coming up on the 1st of February?
I've seen, I don't know what it is, but I've seen all of the things on Instagram.
RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the rest of the world, Leanne.
Oh my
Leanne,
word.
I have managed to turn into a fully fledged Drag Race fan, haven't I, Leanne?
Oh, me? Oh, I'm converted.
Fully fledged.
Oh, I am fully fledged Drag Race now. I can't wait. I follow everybody on Instagram. I absolutely adore the programme. I just want to show you about where I'm placing my shade here. So to get the feel of laying one petal over the next, you see on this large outside petal, I did my first layer of light around the perimeter. And then I've done my darkest shade. And now when I come in with my medium tone, Joe, and then my light into my preserved highlight, you'll see what you get is the appearance of one petal lying on top of another petal. And that's just about where you apply your darkest colour. So as I fill this in into my preserved highlight, you see now this petal looks like it's lying over the top. It's creating that 3D dimension. And that's about making sure that where you've got a light area, you put the underneath piece, the dark area alongside, because it would cast a natural shadow. And that's what makes those petals all start to come out from the page. And that would be the same for this little petal behind here, but because it's a small area, it's a small skinny area, I'll take my darkest marker in the shade, and this is DR7, and I'll just do little dots all around there. So I'm doing exactly what we've just talked about. That's the darkest shade along around the outside there, and then I'm taking my light colour and I'm just going to join those together. So I went with the darkest shade on the deep blend and the lightest shade on the blend pen, but I've still got a beautiful blend because it was in a small area, Joe.
Yeah, Pat's asked a question as well. I think Pat's struggling to find a use for her darker shades, her deep blends. I think she maybe is used to using the lighter shades and has gone for the deep blends, but unsure how to use the two together. How and where is it good to have those deeper shades, Leanne?
So it's exactly as I'm showing you now. So Pat, I'm so pleased you've messaged in because this is exactly the answer that you're looking for. So you see, this is my deep blend marker, and I've just put the darkest colour from my deep blend marker under the lip of that petal on top of the lightest colour from my blend marker, and then I'm going to blend that out. And all that happens with your deep blends is it gives you more of a differentiation between the colours, so you get that real deep dark and you get the lightest, which then gives you that 3D popping of the image from the page. And then what I would do with this one is just go in with my lightest colour here around the end, and that just makes that pop out. So you can see now, because I did the really deep here, this petal now looks like it's lapping. It looks like it's curling over. Before it just looked like a flat, what even is that? Now it looks like there's a curve coming back at you on the petal because you put your really dark colour under here. So that's when you want to use your deep blends. And you know, I always say to everybody with alcohol colouring, so many of you always say, but I'm terrified of the dark colours, Leanne. And I just say embrace them and try them and pop them into your shadows and shades, because you can't get that effect without a very dark colour. You must have the deepest, darkest of the colour to get that effect. And if you don't, you won't get the difference between the light and the shade, which is what gives it the 3D feel. So pop it into your shadows and your creases and your nooks and crannies, Joe.
I
know.
Said the actress to the bishop while
Nooks
stirring a
and
tea with the
crannies.
other hand. Jem said, are these refillable? Not sure if it's already been said, it's not been on long. Sort of yes, but sort of no?
Sort of yes, but sort of no. They're not designed to be refillable, but you can refill them. So the nib will remove, and you can put the refillable ink in there if you want. My preference is to actually take a little bit of ink from the pipette and put it in a tiny little receptacle, and then just hold my nib in there. And again, the capillary action, because this is fibrous, it will suck that ink up back into your pen, and you can refresh and rejuvenate doing that.
Fresh and exciting. Fresh and exciting to me. Look, we've got loads of, so many of you chatting away. Remember, we're going to do a bit of a Q&A in this section, in this section or the next section of the show. One of the sections. One of the sections. Soon. Don't go anywhere. But loads of people chatting away with me. Who we got then? Sue Tomlinson says, love your jumper, Joe. Thank you very much. It's from Zara. And it is from the men's section for a change, Leanne. Because most of my jumpers do come from the women's section. Because the women's section got a little bit more room in them. And also I'm quite short-bodied. They're all a bit shorter. But also women's clothes, not all women's clothes, obviously. Women's jumpers are so much more exciting than men's jumpers.
Yes.
They've got prints, they've got embellishments, they've got sparkly bits. I always say to all my friends, my top tip for shopping, as a boy or a girl, is always shop in the other, in all the sections of the shop. Because Erin, for instance, buys men's sweaters. So I think sometimes we discount the other bits of the shops we don't normally go in, but sometimes you find some gems in there. Anyway, I've banged on enough about my shopping habits. Deborah says, good morning everyone from Lancashire, UK. Just watched Leanne with the dots. I now have the correct cardstock. I've been using stamping card as well. Shadai's got a colouring question for you. I'll come back to that in just a second actually. Jan says, in Italy, cara is a compliment. It means dear. Ciao, cara.
Oh, ciao.
Yeah.
Ciao, Cara.
Evangeline says, we say hafa a day on Guam. Guam is in the Pacific Ocean. I mean, we are truly international today, Leanne, which means hello, basically, and what's up. I know in the Middle East they say chufi hada, but I don't know what it means. But it's like a kind of come on, I think. Like it's something they just, you know, one of those words that you just say all the time and can mean anything. One of those ones, I think. Evangeline's loving the colouring. Alison says you make colouring and blending so understandable. Talking of what else we call each other, Karen says, where my husband is from, in the Potteries. The Potteries, I think, is like Worcestershire, isn't it, Leanne?
Isn't that where like the Great Pottery Throwdown is? Doesn't that?
I think it's Worcestershire, like south of Birmingham. They say duck. Right, my duck?
Oh.
In the West Midlands, it's bab. What right, bab?
Oh, one of the glitter girls used to say that all the time.
All right, Babs.
Not Kathy, the other one, Barbara.
Yeah.
Was it Barbara, Kathy and Babs?
Babs.
Babs, it was. It
But
was
her name
Barbara,
was Babs.
Babs. Yeah.
All right, Babs.
But she used to say it all the time.
And also,
her.
She says, thanks for the tips. Right, colouring questions that are coming in. We did that one about the refillable one here from Shreya. How do you go about colouring eyes? Great question. Something a lot of people struggle with, Leanne. And I think if you get the eyes wrong, the whole project looks wrong, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does. So before the end of today, I will stamp an image. I'll find some eyes and show you how to do eyes. Yeah. It's actually about leaving a lot of white, believe it or not, and not flooding with colour, because then you lose the shine. So a tiny touch of colour in one area is all you need. If it's an eye on a stamped, on a face of somebody, but if you're just drawing and colouring a big eye, then that's a whole other tutorial.
Right. That's quite a thing, isn't it? Colouring and drawing large eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, Gemma says, I have the set of 28 tri-blends. Are they different to the essential blends and the deep blends? How many tri-blends are there in total?
So tell me the colour of your pen. So is your pen black or is your pen grey?
The actual barrel of the pen.
The pen, yes.
Gemma, let us know what colour your barrel is.
And then we'll tell you.
There you are. Any other questions you've got, keep them coming in, whether they're crafty related or non-crafty related. We love all questions, don't we?
We do, all of the questions. as many of them as possible, because if you've got burning, there's nothing more frustrating than sitting and watching TV demonstrations at home and really wanting to get your question through and nobody's listening to your question, and you've got all of the burning things that you need answering for. So this is a perfect opportunity. I've just been colouring in a couple of leaves there on my little daisy here while we're talking.
The barrel is black. The barrel is black.
Right, so if the barrel is black,
barrel's black. All right.
Look what you started, Gemma.
Sorry. I know.
That really does work. Barrel's black, all right. Isn't that blue?
No.
Who is it?
It's the Backstreet Boys.
See, I was
maybe
too
we
busy.
could get Ben working on that as a parody. What do you think?
Yeah, that would be really fun. Yeah,
throw your tri-blends in the air, colouring in like you just don't care.
Well, I don't think we need Ben. I think we've got you to do that, Joe. Who needs Ben when we've got
Sorry,
you?
anyway, yes,
Eloquently.
back to the question at hand.
If your barrels are black, there are 24 blend and 24 deep blend. So there's 72 colours, 24 markers, 3 colours in each pen in the blend, and the same in the deep, and you're getting the whole collection in that deal there with the free bag.
Amazing. Incredible. See what I did?
Honestly, Joe, I mean, you never cease to amaze me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The potteries, for all of you, I know you were worried there about my geographical knowledge, is in Stoke-on-Trent.
I thought, do you know, I was
just down the road from me.
I said, Joe, I was like that. Did you see my face? I was a bit, isn't that where the pottery throwdown is? I'm sure it begins with an S, is what was going in my head.
Stoke-on-Trent, there we are.
There we are. Who else watches the Great Pottery Throwdown and loves it?
I can't get into it.
My gosh, I love it so much.
And you know the other one I can't get into, and I've tried so many times, is a sewing bee. I just can't get going with it.
Wash
I don't know why.
out your mouth.
Doesn't capture my imagination for some reason.
Oh my word, I love the sewing bee. Wash out your mouth.
Who's presenting it these days? Is it still Joe Lycett?
No, I loved it when Joe did it because I just love Joe Lycett.
Sarah Pascoe?
She's got blonde hair, comedian, but she's
Sarah
not funny.
Pascoe, yeah.
Yeah. She's also doing something where she travels around different countries and climbs up coconut trees and stuff at the minute.
Only coconut trees. Palm tree? The palm trees are coconut trees, aren't they?
Are they? I don't know.
An oak. I'm not going up there. No, coconut tree. Yeah.
Off you go. I mean, literally, she climbed up a coconut tree. Anyway, we digress. I want to show you how you can use 2 different colours, entirely different colours, together if you want to as well. So I've got 2 very different markers here. I've got my gold brown blend. Oh no, I've got the wrong one.
You got some water over there?
I have got some water. I'm going to have a little sip in a second, Joe.
Also, Kaz says they have a pottery shopping centre and it's the home of Royal Dalton.
Oh, do you know what? It just looks, the stuff that they do is, it's got me wanting to get a potter's wheel and have a go.
Is it? Mm-hmm. What's the film, what I'm thinking of?
Ghost.
Yeah, that's all I think about.
Oh, my love. That one. Mm-hmm.
Mine, that would be not anywhere near as romantic, so mine would be like all over the place.
Yes, if you don't get your clay scented, it doesn't go nice and smoothly. Right, so we're off to the daisy petals now, and now I've got my fair skin blend and I've got my dusty purple blend, and I'm using the lightest colour. I'm using the light end from both. So I'm going to start with the dusty purple, and I'm just going to preserve my highlight. But what I want is, you know when you've got a daisy and you get that lovely tip of lilac on the end, and then the rest of the petal is not as deep, and then I'm taking the lightest colour from my fair skin blend and I'm blending that out into the rest of the petal, and it's kind of bleached it out a little bit, but it just gives you that change in colour. If you want to deepen that a little bit, you can go to your middle tone and just tip a little bit of that in around the edge with your lightest colour again. There we go. And then I've got my fair skin. And so now I can start to ombre different pen colours together, Joe. I don't have to stick with the 3 colours in one pen if I don't want to. You can experiment. These pens are for you to play with, have fun with, experiment, try, go on a colouring journey with them and just see how you feel. If it works for you, great, do it again. If it didn't work, doesn't matter, don't do it again. That is the only way we're going to learn, by experimentation, trying, and look, getting this lovely result. If I had my blender pen at my fingertips right now, I would be using the blender pen down here because that would ombre it out a little bit further, but I don't have it, so we're not going to worry about it. And you just go around and look, I'm tipping it in, so a little bit of that light purple, the dusky purple. and then going to the opposite end, same intensity of colour, the two lightest colours, and then just ombre that out. And I'm getting that lovely change in colour with the tip that you get on a daisy.
Nice. I love that. Really love that. I'm in the minority about the sewing bee. Apparently, I'm getting a lot of slack. I'm getting a lot of stick on social media.
Are you?
Sewing bee, indeed. I am. Laurie was asking as well about the grey-barrelled pens.
Yes.
And how many pens there are in that collection.
Yes.
And also what they are, Leanne. What's the sort of point of difference? Because this was just customer demand, which is why we bought these brush versions out, wasn't it?
Yes. So the grey-barrelled pens are our tri-blend brush markers, and they were developed for you to try out brush colouring before you delve into your illustrators. So if you want to try out brush colouring and you want to see if it's for you with all the flicks and little, the sweeping motions, that lovely soft look that we get from having a brush nib, then the tri-blend brush could be something for you to try. However, they do work hand in hand with your black barrel tri-blends as well. They all play nicely together. An example of that would be, this is a tri-blend brush marker. This is in hydrangea, not dusky purple, so there'll be a little bit of difference in colour, but doesn't matter. So you see I've got the brush marker here now, and I'm going to flick in some of that colour at the end here, at the end of my petal. But then I'm going to move to my tri-blend bullet nib, the ones that we've got in the deal, and I'm going to blend that ombre out. And it works in exactly the same way.
Fantastic. Andrea wants to know as well, is the blender pen the same as the blender pen from the classics, or is it different?
Blender pens will always be the same. Your blender pen will never ever change. It is basically colourless ink. It is just the alcohol solution with nothing in it. And this is one of the things where we had to do it, because if we didn't, everybody who alcohol colours wouldn't have been happy with us. Right. But I didn't want to call the blender pen a blender pen, because it doesn't blend. It corrects. It's a corrector pen.
It's like an Instagram filter for your colouring.
It really is. It corrects and it bleaches.
Nice.
Because it's just that very, it's got no colour in. It's colourless ink. Well, it's not even ink, it's the solution. And so when you put that over a colour, what that does is bleach it out, and it'll soften the ends of colours as well. So that's why it's called a blender, but it really doesn't blend.
Amazing.
It's
Sarah
exactly
C
the same
had
in
a
every
question
pen
as
collection.
well about how to use it, but I think you've just answered it beautifully there. So I hope that helps for you, Sarah. Talking about what people call people as well, Gemma says, when I lived in Scotland, we said fit like.
Oh.
Fit like.
Fit like. Well, that doesn't.
Fit like.
So is it fit like mean?
Like
handsome.
Fit
Wow,
like.
whoa, look at you, you're fit like.
Blows the wind up my skirt, dear. Fit like.
Fit like,
thing.
okay.
Yeah. I don't know. We need a bit more context there, please, if you wouldn't mind. Also, Sam McDonald, born in Stoke-on-Trent, and her mum worked for Royal Dalton many years ago.
Oh, wow.
I bet they had lovely crockery in their house.
I love a bit of Royal Dalton. I love
Me
a nice
too.
bone china mug, Joe. You cannot beat a cup of tea out of a bone china mug.
With a really thin rim.
With a really thin rim.
Love a thin rim.
Me too.
Margaret says, I think Leanne is amazing. I love watching her when she's teaching us colouring. I have all the pens, but I just need a little extra help. Well, we've got you covered in this show, in our weekly Destination Colour Me Happy show. And also, Leanne, a great time to talk about the fact that every single show we've ever done here on Crafters TV is available to watch, like a big, crafty, on-demand streaming service over on our website, which is fantastic. So go over there, subscribe to us on YouTube, watch them back. YouTube's great because they're all organised into playlists, or you can watch it, of course, on Facebook as well. We've got you covered, haven't we?
Of course, we've got every possible thing that you could need covered, Joe. And I love that. Do you know what I love? Obviously, I love working for Crafters Companion. I've been here 12 years. But the thing I love about it is we put so much effort into making our products the best they can be, if not the best in the industry. But then what we also do is give you all of that support and education with it as well. And we help you with your products all along the way. And I just think that's really different and unique for a craft company. And I love the fact that we do that, because we don't just cut you dry once you've bought the product from us. We really do try to help you.
Absolutely.
Now, what I did there with those smaller petals, you see, I used the darker shade from the two pens. And what that's done is really knock them back. So dark knocks things back, light brings it forward. So it's put those petals way back in the distance there, and it's made those lighter petals look like they're really coming forward towards me. And you would just continue and do all three of those daisies in that way. But I do think that looks really lovely, and it looks like it's turning. One thing that's bugging me and I need to fix is I need to put a little bit of a darker tone just around the top of this curl here.
So you're dotting there, I see.
Yeah, just dotting. If you've got a tiny area, little dots really help you.
Okay,
because if you try to colour it with a swoop or a circle, you're going to go out the line and put too much colour. So a tiny little dot will really help you just get a tiny bit of colour in where you need it. You see, by me doing that, now look at the difference. By me doing that, this point of this petal now really looks like it's curling over the base of the petal, doesn't it? So yeah, just continue, and then you could do the little green bits. You could do them in. You can do that technique with any colour you liked. You could do it with a pink and a blue. You could do it with a lemon and a coral. That would look really beautiful. Just make them whatever colour you want them to be, Joe.
Amazing. Just one more time to recap. So Deborah says, obviously already been covered. Do the shades and blends work in the same way, and do they work together? They're like really they're like the perfect balance, really, aren't they? They're like a wonderful marriage.
They are. So yes, when I coloured these red poppies that we've got here, the red poppies, this one is coloured with the blends.
I'm guessing you can hear that. I think
I
that's
can.
a helicopter. Is that a low-flying plane or a helicopter?
It's a low-flying, I think it's a helicopter, isn't it? I mean, that sounds like the police, that sounds like India 1. That sounds like the police helicopter to me, doesn't it? Yes. So who knows what's going on outside?
Someone's going to end up in the Law Court of Leann.
Someone is going to end up in the Law Court of Leann, and I'll go out there and have a word with them.
I think it's an illegally good deal. That's why the police are here.
That's what it's for. This poppy here is coloured with the blend pen. This one here is coloured with the deep blend pen. This one is coloured with the blend and the deep blend together.
Nice.
So you can see how they all work together. And if I just show you the colour charts again, here is your essential blends. And your essential blends are all 24 of your markers there, which have 3 colours in each marker to give you those perfect blends that we've been talking about. And you've got 72 colours there because there's 24 markers, 3 colours in each marker. And then you've got your deep blends, which are just darker tones of those shades, deeper tones of those shades. And you can use them on their own to get a darker coloured effect, or you can use them together. And if I put that together and ask you to look at those 2 reds, you can see you've got your dark red blend and your deep blend of your 3 different colours here. And those 2 pens will work together to give you that. So yes, they will work independently or together depending on the look you want to achieve.
How fabulous. Really, really cool. We've got a new viewer alert. Paul Morgan on Facebook says, Leann, I'm with you, lass. Both pottery and sewing programmes are top of my TV watching. Only just found your channel. Joe, I was wondering where you had gone. Good to see you again, both. Regards, Paul from London. Hey,
well,
Paul from
welcome.
London.
Welcome. It's really lovely to have you with us.
Glad to be reacquainted again with you. Sarah Brown says, Leann, just wanted you to know that I'm a huge fan of the Tri-Blend brush, and I also a huge fan of the Illustrator markers as well. I finally finished collecting the Illustrator markers. I have them in the bag with labels on the tray, so I know exactly where it goes. Thank you for a great product. Also, Rhiannon asking if the colouring charts are available to download. I'm pretty sure they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
What I would say is, if you've not been over to the Spectrum Noir area of our website, after this show, go over there, have a little look around, look at all the downloads that are over there. There's loads of inspiration, isn't there, Leanne, and sort of tools and advice to enable you to get maybe the best result for your colouring.
Absolutely, they're all on our website, so go and help yourself to those colour charts. So you've got those there, those triangles are there for you to colour in and keep as a reference. What I would say is print it on an inkjet printer on Nina cardstock. Don't feel you're wasting a piece of your Nina for this. You want the true colour representation on there.
So inkjet printing ink won't move around then? If you
Inkjet printing will not move around with alcohol colouring.
Right. So laser printer, no good?
Laser printer, no good.
Right, okay.
Because it'll...
So actually the more inexpensive printers then are better for printing on?
Yeah. The cheap
fancy ones are the laser ones.
You know, the cheap print is like 20 quid.
You just need a bog standard printer.
Just a bog standard printer with ink.
Or a printer, as you just called it.
A printer.
Printer.
Printer. Is that what I said?
Printer. Sounded like Aaron.
Did it?
Yeah. Printer.
Yeah, printer. That's all you need. Get that in your life. So for watercolouring, that's when you need laser printing. So it's the opposite. Okay. So because alcohol markers are a solvent, then they will not interact, they will not...
So inkjet must be a water-based ink then?
So inkjet is a water-based ink, which is why it works with a solvent marker.
Nice.
So you won't have the oil and water technique with them, and the alcohol ink will not make the water-based ink move because it won't try to blend it.
Brilliant.
Whereas if you did it with a laser printer or a photocopier, what happens there is that is sealed, that is solvent-based and heat sealed, so the solvent and the alcohol marker interacts with the ink and you get black smudgy lines, where it's the opposite for watercolour. So inkjet, because it's a water-based ink, isn't good for watercolour, but laser printing or photocopying is good for watercolour. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, makes crystal
just
clear sense.
opposites.
If you want the colouring charts, go over to the website, under inspiration, click downloads in the drop-down list. So on the homes page, inspiration, from the drop-down menu, click downloads, you'll find those colouring charts there. I didn't know that. Our social media superstar Rachel has just informed me.
Well, there you go.
She's a good egg.
So I'm just using my gold blend here. This is my gold and yellow blend to do this plant pot. And you see what I'm doing is just building up layers. So don't worry about getting it right, like putting one layer of colour down and going, oh, that's it, didn't work, forget it. Because sometimes you need to build up set with alcohol colouring specifically, because you're not moving it with water or starting with a very deep pigment. What you're working in is layers of colour. And so by adding those layers of colour and letting them dry in between, and it does dry very quickly, you see, so I'm moving from one side to the next, and I'm just repeating the process time and again. Darkest colour, because I've got wet ink now, so I can do this. Medium, so I go to the edge of the dark, bring the medium out a little bit, to the edge of the medium, come out with the light, turn it round, do exactly the same thing again. Dark, with the medium, to the edge of the dark I've just put down, and I'm not coming all the way back to the end. You can see that. I'm not colouring the whole thing in again. I'm just tickling the edge of it and coming into the centre, and then take my lightest colour and colour that in. I get a plant pot which looks rounded and natural and shaded.
Amazing.
By leaving it, so now that feels cylindrical, by leaving that preserved highlight in the centre and then using the light and the dark coming in from the sides. And you would do the same with the lip here. So just to show you what I did, started with the lightest colour. So the technique doesn't change, Joel. The technique, once you've got it, is the technique. And then it's where you apply it. So you've got the lightest colour, then you've got the darkest colour over the top, because remember, a wet ink blends so much better than a dry card. And then you take your medium colour into the centre, your lightest colour, preserve your highlight, turn it round, and then we come with our light colour again. So we've got our lightest colour here. So the technique is exactly the same as it was for the poppies.
It's almost like,
different colour.
it's a bit like, colouring's a bit like baking. I know that is a random thing to say, it's a tangent, but stick with me. In the same way that once with baking you learn the golden rules and things you definitely do and definitely don't do, therefore you can expand and create other things based on the principles that you've learned. Colouring's a lot like that as well, isn't it? Once you've learned those golden rules of colouring, which we're going to teach you through our Colour Me Happy shows, you can then start to take those rules and apply them to other things. Do you agree, Leanne?
100%, because it's the same. If I was watercolouring this with our aqua markers, I would not apply the colours in a different place. I would still have the darkest colour at the sides and the lightest colour in the middle. I would just be dragging the colour with water to meet. So the principle, as you say, is exactly the same. It's just the application method. And you see, by doing that, I get that lovely, rounded, cylindrical look and feel on my plant pot now. Now, what I can do is take one of my grey pens, and this is my brown grey blend. I'm going to take the lightest colour, and I'm just going to do, just with my brown grey, actually I might take the medium, is just add a little bit of a shadow under there, not with the brown, because shadows aren't brown. You see, what I've done is just add a shadow, and that has now made the lip of that pot look like it's actually over the top of the pot underneath. It's given it that 3D dimension. If you want to ground something, so make it look like it's actually sitting somewhere, then you use your light pens for that, and we bring that up a little bit around and up a little bit around here, bring it down kind of in the fashion that it would be, and you start to build a shadow, and now it feels like it's sitting on the ground. If I had my blender pen, I'd be using my blender pen at this point, but I don't, so I'm going to use my Fairskin blend, and I would blend that out a little bit further with my blender pen. I need to go and find it. and you just build up that shadow
Nice.
around there, so it looks like it's sitting on the ground. And then what you can also do is trace round an image, Joe. So I'm going to do it on this side of the plant pot. And so with a grey marker, just take the marker and trace the outside of that image. Now you can see this side of the pot now looks really 3D. That grey line makes that look like it's coming from the page.
It sort of grounds it onto the paper, doesn't it?
And this looks like it's a stamped image on a page. This looks like it could be coming away from the page. And your blender pen would be phenomenal for that. I'm gonna go over here for a rummage.
Do you want me to rummage
Would
for
you
you?
have another
Yeah,
rummage
you
there?
stay there. You don't.
I was going to say on me seat, a blender pen, please, Joe.
That's a rose. That's not a blender pen.
No, blender is clear.
Yeah.
I think we must have 470
brown grey.
markers there, and we can't see a blender. Is that blender there, Joe? Left,
Where?
left, left, bottom, left, 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 there, blender. Next, left, there.
Flint.
Mint.
Flint.
Flint. No, no.
Blush. A blender. They call
Blender.
me blender. There you go.
Blender pen, thank you, Joe. It's an illustrated blender. Doesn't matter which range it comes from. Now, what will happen here is it will soften, look. So
It was a bit like a generation game for there for a moment, wasn't it?
Isn't it? It was like left, left, it was like the golden shot. So I'll use my blender pen there, and what that does, look, is soften the harsh lines and just give it that real soft shadow look now. So you trace it with your grey pen, and I'll do it on this side too now, trace it, and while it's still wet, take your blender and just blend out those edges, because remember, blending bleaches and corrects, so it softens. So it will soften those lines, bleach a little bit of it away, get the ink moving, and soften that, so you get that lovely soft look to it now, rather than a harsh line. And that's what I would have done down here when I was grounding it with my blender. I would have just gone round the outside. So that's what that is good for, your blender, which is fantastic. Everybody needs a blender, you just don't blend with it. Correct and soften and diffuse. It diffuses, that's a good word. Diffuses edges, spreads the colour, corrects mistakes, knocks colours back, softens it for you.
Sounds like it's not going to let it into a nightclub. It's knocking it back.
No.
Let me share with you again then what you're getting in that amazing bundle. So you're getting both sets of the tri-blends. So a full collection for you there on the tri-blends, which is great. It's lovely to be able to invest in something. You know you've got all of it straight off the bat. What you're also getting is that amazing carry case. So it means you're going to be able to store these easily, store them laying down. The other great thing as well, as Leann showed us, you can open this up and use it as a carry case as well if you want to. Use it to work on the go. A brilliant little work session. Brilliant that, Leann, if you don't have maybe a dedicated craft room and you have to bring it out, you know, and craft on the dining table, these are going to allow you to do that. It's going to allow you to move that around and do that, which is fantastic. Nearly knocked my water over. The other thing I need to tell you about is this, which is the complete collection of the tri-blend brush markers. So exactly the same concept that we've been looking at. Leann's been using both of these throughout that last section there. These have got that brush nib. So great if you want to laying down a lot of colour. She's a very noisy stamper today, our Leann. Great if you are laying down a lot of colour. Also brilliant if you want to get that texture on things like hair and fluff. It's going to allow you fur, hair and fur, not fluff. Don't know where we were going with that. Angela Harris. Hello, Angela. Hope you're doing well. She says, I'm loving this new show and time. Unable to watch your other shows live because I'm at work, so it's so nice to start the day learning about paper crafting. What a lovely way to start the day. Leann, you've taught me so much in the show. I didn't even realise that I could pull the middle section out of the marker bag, so thank you for all of your tips. You're welcome, Angela. Kathy says, such an interesting show. Karen Callis says, wow, that pot looks amazing. I do get frightened to colour. Kaz says, I'm loving the colouring 101. She is a mastermind, that Leann. And Sarah C says, excellent, answers all my questions. Read the blender. So thank you very much. If you've got questions, we got answers, and if we ain't got answers, we've got the internet, so it's the same thing. Get them into me, Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. So pop those across. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A very soon as well, which is going to be wonderful. If you want to go for the tri-blend brush markers, prices there on your screen, $79.99, $119.95. Don't forget as well, if you are new to us, about Club Inspire. It's our amazing crafty club. It's totally free to join. I know. And there's no like membership fee or anything like that. So make sure you head over to the website and sign up. It is your first purchase and you've become a Club Inspire member, you will get a one-off 20% discount, which is great. And then you start to collect points, climb your way up through the club and start to unlock those discounts. Bronze members get 5%, silver members 10% off. Gold members 15% off, platinum members get 20% off of all orders, and there's loads of other great reasons to be in the club. All the details over on the website. Also remember, if you are a UK customer, you can of course take advantage of ClearPay. ClearPay available on this item. You just need to make sure you are spending a total of over £30, under £1,000, and we can help you spread the cost interest-free over 4 instalments. You pay a quarter of the cost of your product today, and then the final 3 instalments at 2-week intervals. Don't know why I'm teaching a room full of toddlers there. Not sure what's that about. Rachel Gillam is our social media superstar. Can you tell I was up at 4 a.m. this morning? It's just starting to unravel now, Leanne, so I don't know what I'm going to be like by the later show. I was up as in, not that I was still up out partying, as in I woke up to come to work at 4 a.m, just before anyone starts. Elizabeth says, just wondering how many tri-blend markers are there in total? Can you get them individually?
There are 200.
We've seen it now, too late.
Did you see it?
Was it a cup of tea?
No, it's a drink of water.
Oh, okay. Because we're pro cups of tea here. Well, the foundation of this company is built on cups of tea.
Oh gosh, yes. Leanne. I am a tea bird. I cannot function if I don't.
Is that like a pink lady, a tea bird?
Yeah, I'm a tea bird because if I don't have regular hot tea, I can't function. What was I going to talk to you about there?
I asked you about how many
illustrators are in the collection. In total, there are 216 illustrator marker colours. And yes, you can buy them individually. So if you've bought a couple of collections, and all of the colour swatches, the colour charts are on our website, as we explained earlier. So if you've got some, because you've bought sets or collections, what have you, and you want to plug the gaps and get some of the other colours in there, you can make a little chart of what you've got, put a tick beside it, find the colours you don't have, and then buy individual pens if you want to.
Amazing. I hope that helps. Any other questions you've got, get them into my show. I was actually stood here with my phone out looking at a work email that Erin had just sent me, but it just looked like I was just, on the socials. I was just seeing a text from my mum or something. If you want to go for those, $79.99, $119.95, make sure you are grabbing those if you want to get hold of them, which is fantastic. That's a tri-blend brush marker, complete 24-piece collection, 72 colours. Are we going to do a demonstration on these ones, Leanne?
We certainly are, Joe.
Amazing.
We certainly are. I'm just going to stamp this one little image because there's a couple of things I want to show you which will really help. So I'm just going to stamp that and then we're going to move on to this, and then I'll come back to that in a second.
Amazing.
I know, right, so we're going to look at the butterfly. And we're colouring in the butterfly wings now, and I've got 2 markers from my tri-blend brush collection. We're going to look at several different things you can do with them. So we're going to have a look at the butterfly wing, we're going to have a look at a plant pot base to show you the difference between the 2 effects. We're going to have a look at some petals on the daisy, and then I'm going to colour in skin and hair. So I'm going to try, but I'll try and keep it pretty speedy for you. Now the difference with the tri-blend brush marker is of course the fact the nib is different. So on a regular tri-blend, on the blend and on the deep blend and the regular blend, you have got bullet nibs, fine bullet nibs. On your tri-blend brush, you've got a beautiful soft brush nib. Why do you need a soft brush nib? Well, it gives you a different type of blend and effect. It allows you to do the flick effect for your blending.
Amazing.
Which is anchor your hand. So if I move that over there, you'll be able to see. My hand will not leave the table. My hand touches the table and the flicking happens with my fingers. If you can see me in full, rather than just with that overhead colouring, I'll be able to show you what I mean by that. So it's all about me. I'd like you to look at me.
Oh, we need to see the whole package.
We need to see me. That's okay. I wasn't being clear enough. So when I'm colouring, my hand is staying down and my fingers are flicking. What isn't going to happen is I'm not going to lift my hand from the desk, and I'm not going to flick with my elbow or with my arm. This motion is not going to give you a good result. So the more expressive you are, and if your elbow is off the table, you're not going to have as much control. So you want your arm on the table, the base of your hand on the table, and any flicking happens with your fingers. The only exception to that is if we need to go a little more vertical, where the bottom of my wrist then touches the table. So as long as you're always anchored, you're going to have a little bit more control. And if you're new to using a brush marker, that would be my top tip for you. Once you've done it for a while, of course, you can lift your hand up and do your colouring. You don't need to continue doing that. But if you're brand new, to give you that control, anchor your hand on the table. Thank you for humouring me with that. I really appreciate it. It was like, please look at me, look at me. No, look at me. No. So now I'm going to colour this butterfly. Look at me, being sassy. And I'm going to do my flicking. So I've got my hand anchored and I've got my lovely brush tip and I'm going with the lightest colour and I'm flicking that in. And you see I get that lovely, and I'm using exactly the same technique as I used before.
So would you say these can give you a more subtle result than the original one if that's what you're after? And also, would we use the two sets together, the two nib styles together?
Yes, I did, because I did that on the daisy before, didn't I?
Okie doke.
I used the brush nib for this and then I did the bullet nib for that. And so obviously Joe wasn't paying any attention at that part of the show.
I was here in person, maybe my spirit had drifted. I have been up since 4 a.m, I don't know if I mentioned it.
Did you? Well, I was up at 4:45.
It's not competition,
so, I mean, I'm just, I mean, it sounds like you want a medal and you're not having one, Joe.
Well, I won anyway, so,
And then I'm taking the darkest colour and flicking that in nearer exactly as I did before. First layer of the lightest, now with the darkest, now with the medium. So I'll flick over the top and layer those colours, and I'm flicking out a little bit further each time I do it. So just flicking the colour out, you can see that there. And then I go back to the lightest colour, and now I flick again and it'll join all of those up and we'll get that beautiful soft ombre on a butterfly wing.
Amazing. A lot of people are asking if we're going to use a sassy and classy stamp. So we're going to do that in the next hour, Leanne, is that right?
We certainly can. We can certainly do sassy and classy then.
Brilliant.
Now, the great thing about a brush nib then is it lets you get an ombre between different colours. So if this was a fairy wing, for example, I'm going to use my Fair Skin blend and I'm going to use my, whatever colour this is, pink violet. So I'm using the lightest colour from my pink violet and I'm flicking that in. And so I just get that lovely soft, gentle lay down of colour and it tapers out. I personally love colouring with brush nibs because I just think it feels softer, but there's a room for both of them. And then I'm going to use the lightest colour of my Fair Skin blend and I'm going to turn it round and flick from the opposite direction back into the middle to join the two colours together.
Nice. I love the two different colours together because I think sometimes we maybe presume because they're a 3-pen blend we only need to blend the same three colours. It's lovely to see that that's not the case.
No, not the case. And if I'm using the same, so the importance is, Joe, the same intensity of colour. So because I'm using the lightest colour on the purple, I'm using the lightest colour on the Fair Skin. So I'm using the same intensity of colour you can see there, which gives you that lovely ombre between the two because one will not bleach the other out. And then if I want to intensify that a little bit more, a lighter colour will always bleach the effect of a darker colour, which is why I'm using the same intensity. So if I want to increase that a little bit more, I go in with a few more flicks of that lovely purple there, turn it round, same lightest colour on my Fair Skin blend, flick into that, so I'm joining the two together in the middle. There we go. And I've got that lovely ombre between the two colours where you can get that lovely iridescence for a fairy wing or something like that if that's what you want to do. Same would apply with different colours if that's what you want. So I could use the pale blue. I've got pale blue here. So let's do pale blue from the centre. Can you still see it? So I'm flicking that pale blue out. Oh, that's, I'm going to use maybe that's too pale. Let's try. It's a very pale blue, that one. I might look for a different one. Bear with, guys, bear with.
Christine Rigione says, tri-blends are great for beginners as well as advanced colourists. My 11-year-old has some and she loves them, slowly learning more and more. Her big brother bought her the carry case for Christmas, so now she can just take them in the car or wherever. How fabulous. What a lovely brother she's got.
Beautiful. Well, I'm using a little more of intense colour here. So I'm going to flick that blue in, and so you can do.
Gorgeous.
It's a beautiful colour.
That's like snorkeling in the Caribbean kind of blue, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Gorgeous, isn't it? So you can do it with intense colours if you want, or you can do it with your lighter colours, and you can mix new colours overlaying them. So now I'm flicking back into the centre here, and where this purple overlays on my blue, I get a violet join.
Ooh.
Can you see that there?
I can.
So I'm just flicking the colour and joining the two together, and then like with the plant pot, I'll overlay the colours. So I've got that ombre happening, and then I'll just trace around here. You'll take much more care than I am, but there we go. And then if I take my blue again, turn it round. So I always notice what I'm doing. I'm always flicking away from myself, because that's how you get that lovely tapered. Let me just show you here. If I flick away from myself like this, see how I get that lovely tapered finish to my flick. If I try and do that here, it's more chunky.
Can we make those flicks thicker or thinner?
You can, and that's by angling your pen in a different way. So I'm just going to show you that there. So now you see I can do a dark ombre, just the 3 colours from a pen, 2 lighter colours together. So the brush markers, you're going to be able to do so many different things. To vary the width of your flick, Joe, I'm going to use a dark pen. Show you one here. It's the angle that you hold the marker. So again, if you're looking at me and not the paper, it's how you hold it. So if you're holding your pen vertical like this, you get a fine flick, and as you change the angle down, varying degrees, your flick will get thicker. So if I show you that on the paper now, back to the paper, if I've got my pen very vertical and I flick, I can get lovely fine flicks.
Nice.
And then underneath, if I angle my pen a little bit, thicker, angle it a little bit more.
Oh, perfect.
Thicker. And then the higher the angle, the deeper the angle of the pen to the paper, really thick, but also the further you can travel.
Oh.
So depending on the size of the image. So you can go from tiny, beautiful, precise little flicks, or you can go down to the really lovely sweeping blend.
Really cool.
So that's just angling your pen.
Such a variation on the same effect. Once you've mastered the one effect, you can adapt it and amend it to get a really different look and feel, which I think is brilliant. Lots of people loving this show, how much they're learning. Sarah says learning so much. Evangeline says it's simply amazing. I'm saving this show. There's a wonderful tutorial even on so many levels.
I'm thrilled because I love to talk about colouring, Joe. I could talk about colouring for 8 hours today, and I wouldn't take breath. So it's lovely that you're really enjoying it. I want to show you how with the brush marker you can do this lovely fair skin. So this is one of my favourite images ever by the gorgeous Morgan Fitzsimmons, this shush lady. And she literally is, she's called Mother Nature, but her original piece of artwork is called Shush.
Shush lady.
So I'm using the lightest colour, and I'm just tracing around her hairline, because the hair would be casting a shadow. So this is where it would be darkest on her face. So she's getting a little bit of light colour there, and then we're doing a little bit around this area here where her hair would be, preserving my highlight in the centre again. I'm then going to the darkest end of my pen, and exactly, so you see the technique doesn't change. So I'm going into the first layer of the lightest ink with the darkest colour now, and I'm going back over where I've just been, and actually there would be a little bit of shadow either side of her finger there. I'm then taking the middle tone of my pen, and I'm going to bring that darkest colour out into the centre of the face a little bit, where my preserved highlight is, still preserving my highlight. Then I take my lightest colour and I colour that in, and that gives me that beautiful skin tone and 3D dimension on the face. If I want to intensify that a little bit, I can take my darkest colour and I can just go in and add, you can see there, that corner of the face now really pops. You can add some contouring. There would be some contouring at her nose area here, darker, the side of her lips, just to make that pop, down by her fingers. So you can see I can add all of this in just to add that lovely 3D feel to the face, all the while preserving my highlight. I then take that lighter colour to bring that out into the middle, and it really does give that beautiful look to her face. That's with one marker from the Tri-Blend brush. If I want to give her some cheeks, I'm going to take the pale pale pink blend. What you must never do with cheeks is do Aunt Sally's. You don't want a circle. No Aunt Sally's.
For any of our US viewers, who's Aunt Sally?
Aunt Sally is Wurzel Gummage's girlfriend.
Right. Who's Wurzel Gummidge?
Wurzel Gummidge is a scarecrow who lives in a field, and he has multiple heads that he changes depending on the occasion.
What's a scarecrow?
A scarecrow is a fake man made of straw in men's clothes, put on a stick in the middle of a field to stop the birds from coming in the field and eating the crops.
Any particular birds?
Blackbirds and pigeons.
Okay, fabulous. Glad we cleared that up.
I mean, I'm looking forward to the questions.
Me too.
I mean, honestly.
I've got to tell you, we've got a lot of crafty questions in, but we haven't really got any fun ones yet. So we want to know, we want some silly questions, please. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion on YouTube, because we're going to be doing it in the next 5-10 minutes. So get them in. We want some interesting, everyday, silly ones. You know, maybe there's something about us you want to know.
Yeah. Nothing's out of bounds.
On Facebook,
nothing's out of bounds. So instead of circles, you do triangles. You chisel that in. So that's with your brush nib.
So
right at the outside, chisel it in.
I've just got to just stop. Can we just stop the show there for a second? Just Rebecca's just pointed. No, Rachel, social media superstar. So they're called scarecrows, but they only scare blackbirds and pigeons. They don't scare crows away.
Oh well, maybe it is crows then. I don't know. I mean, I was just making it up, Joe, because you were firing questions at me quick, and I was like, "Will you stop it? I'm trying to tell you about chiseling on the cheeks." But there we go.
Oh,
so for the lips, I'm going to use my magenta blend, and I'm just dabbing the darkest into the corner, then dabbing the medium colour a little bit further out, and then, as we all know, ladies, to make our lips look fuller, we do it lighter and glossy in the centre. And then she's got that lovely full lip going on there.
Nice.
And you would do the same with her hand. And with the hair, brilliant to have these markers, because flicking really does help hugely. So again, start with your lightest colour, start at the edge of her hairline, flick into the centre, work with one area at a time, nothing too big, and then you'll be able to work out which piece of hair lies over the next piece of hair. Flick in the darkest colour at the edge, flick in the medium to join, always preserving your highlight, back with your lightest colour into your preserved highlight. You get that lovely smooth blend, and then we can work out where our next piece of hair is going to overlay. We can see this curl coming around here, and I want this curl to look like it's on top of this curl. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of the darker colour, because I'm just mapping it out. So there's that curl there. Then I'll take my lightest, flick that colour in, it will blend it out. Take my medium colour, flicking alongside, preserving my highlight all the way, my lightest colour to join that in, and I've got that curl looking like it's lying over the one at the top. And you will just keep doing your layering in that way, Joe.
Amazing.
Brush nib really helps.
It does. Great for laying down that colour, great for the flicking, great for all that texture as well, which is amazing. Cara says, Aunt Sally, love that, LOL. I've learnt that Leanne brings the cheeky out of Joe. I think it's because I know that I can get away with a lot more with Leanne, you know, than most people would be allowed. Because we've been friends for so many years.
Yeah.
You know, I know where I can push it. And I know immediately when I've pushed it too far, let me assure you
I can't think of a time when you might have pushed it too far, can you?
Not yet.
No, I don't think that's happened yet.
Not
you
yet.
might have seen other people push me too far.
Oof, right over the edge.
But I don't think you have done that yet.
Melissa says, my two favourites are together. Hi, Mr. Joe and Mrs. Leann Chivers. Hello to you, Melissa. Sandra's loving this lesson. Sam says, I could watch our Leann all day. And Rachel, our social media superstars, agrees. I could listen to Leann talk about colouring all day.
Oh, thank you, guys. It means a lot, because I love it, which you can, obviously tell by how I wax lyrical. But actually, the thing I love most is when I first started my crafty journey, I could not colour. And that's why we developed Spectrum Noir, because I couldn't choose the colours correctly. I couldn't lay them down. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I went on a journey of discovery. And then to be able to pass on the things that I've learned along the way that make, what I couldn't do before easier, more accessible to achieve something you're proud of. If I can pass that on to you and have you with the best product, get great results that you're very proud of, and you've got something that you can just sit and enjoy and learn and have a really lovely time with, then I feel I'm in a really privileged position here at Crafters Companion to be able to share that with you.
And I think the thing is, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And I think that's never true for something like colouring, is it, Leanne?
Exactly, Joe.
Very, very busy on these. Very busy on all the tri-blends we've shared with you across the show. If you are UK based as well, remember you can take advantage of ClearPay, helping you spread the cost of your shop. You give us a quarter of the cost today, and then the other quarterly payments are taken at 2-week intervals, which is fantastic. So spread the cost over 3 weeks rather than paying for it all today. Do you know the best bit about ClearPay, Leanne? Totally interest free. Doesn't cost you anything to use it, which is brilliant.
Wow, that is fantastic. Ooh. Sorry, little cough there. I need to have my water again. Look, so there's the hair starting to come together. There's the face. You've got a little lips there. I would continue with the hand and the flowers. We do them in exactly the same way that we did the poppies when we used the tri-blend markers earlier. You've seen, you can do them with a little ombre, you can do them with a deep colour, however you want really, it's entirely up to you. But the message is, the technique never changes. You always do it the same way. You're just varying the colour, or you're using a brush nib or a bullet nib.
Amazing. There you are. Let me recap the deal for you then on the brush nib, which is the sort of latest addition to the tri-blend range. $79.99 or $119.95. You can spread the cost on ClearPay if you're in the UK. Do not forget about that. It's really fantastic. It doesn't cost you any money. Also, talking about things not costing you much money, let's talk about the craft kits, because selected craft kits, 40%, oh yeah, not 14, no, 40% off. Can you use it in conjunction with your Club Inspired discount? Tick you can, which is amazing. I love that we let you double discount here at Crafters TV. So make sure you go over to the homepage of the website, click the link to find out about those. Also, this is not, if you're finding us for the first time and thinking, when can I find you guys? We're here loads. We're with you all day now, essentially, which is awesome. So, of course, every single Monday, 8 a.m. For 3 hours, which is exciting. We join you at midday UK time for a 90-minute show, and then our two 2-hour shows come to you in the evening at 3 p.m. or afternoon. 3 p.m. is not the evening, although today it's going to feel like the evening. 3 p.m. here in the UK, 7 p.m. as well. We bring you a whole plethora of different style shows. So let's just start at the top here. Colour Me Happy, that's our weekly destination colouring show. Then you've got the award-winning Craft Along. It's where we focus on a product that's been very, very popular, that lots of you own, and we take you step by step through one project for the entirety of the show. We've also got the Craft House. That's where we welcome crafty friends into the studio, whether that be brands or resident or guest experts. Launch days, where you'll find our brand new products. That's 3 p.m. today with myself and Debbie Fisher. We've got a brand new launch for you. Make sure you join us for that. Play your crafts right. Oh, it's like a crafty version of the Generation game. We have loads of fun with that one on a Saturday morning. Softer Side of Life is now on a Friday, and it's a special one this week, 3 p.m. UK time. Myself and Ms. Chivers herself will be here bringing that to you. And Wake Up Call, often with Craig, is your midday show every single day. So there's loads and loads of things to see and to shop for here on Crafters TV. And the other great thing is, don't forget that you can always watch all of our shows back on our website. So if you're going to work, if it doesn't fit with you, catch up whenever you like. Talking about all the things we get up to here at Crafters TV, should we show you some of the fun stuff we do too? Take a look.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours. I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing. Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
joy. There's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up. I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
All the details. Oh, you're over there. Hello. Oh, yeah. All the details there of Club Inspire, as well as some of the awesome things that we get up to here at Crafters TV. We've got loads and loads of questions coming. Should we fire through? Should we do a round of? We'll do crafty ones, then we'll do fun ones. Hey, what about that? Okay, brilliant. Right, let's start with then. I've got them here on my phone. Rhiannon would like to know where you find your inspiration.
Oh, that's a good question. Where do I find my inspiration? I mean, I would just say everywhere and all around, and it comes in the craziest of places. I could be on a walk with Simon and I see something, or I see a lovely flower and I think, wouldn't that be beautiful? Do you know, I like to look at magazines a lot. I like to look on the internet. I like to go for walks. I spend a lot of time crafting anyway myself. So I think it just comes from divine intervention, I suppose, is a way. I don't have a formula for it, and I don't have a particular place I go. I don't go to an inspiration book and find it. So I think just being open to lots of different experiences, talking to lots of different people and getting out and about a lot, I think that's probably where most of my inspiration comes from.
Amazing, I love that. That was from Rhiannon. Jan Robbins, the lovely Jan in Ravello. Jan, can we just do a bit of housekeeping, Jan? When I was in Italy last year, I went and had a coffee with Jan. And I've just booked, I'm coming back in March. I'm staying in Positano, which is very close to where Jan lives, so maybe we'll get a little Prosecco, Jan. Anyway, that's enough about me organising my social life on my holidays.
Yeah.
Jan says, hi Leanne and Joe, lovely to see Leanne back. Can't wait for the Academy of Colouring to come. Do we know when it launches in the UK?
I don't think there's a date set for that, Jan, so I wouldn't like to say for sure, but usually it's around 4 to 6 weeks after the HSN launch as a general rule. So I would say certainly within the next 8 weeks.
Brishland? I don't know what that was.
Brilliant.
I think I've got a bit of I'm having a bit of trouble
moment
today.
Are you?
Yeah, so I've had braces for ages.
Yes.
Well, I finally have my teeth are done. They're all fixed, but I've got a bit of wire in the back. And the more I'm talking, it's making my tongue really sore. So as the day goes on, I'm getting more and more. Right, let's move on. Trisha Plasto says, hi Joe and Leanne. Leanne, I saw the HSN preview. I was wondering, what is your favourite out of all the launches that are coming up in this sort of release, and why?
Oh, wow. So it's like picking a favourite child, isn't it? If I had to pick, of course, the Academy of Colour, because that has been in the making for 18 months. And I think it's such a different and unique concept. It's never been done before and in the world of colouring. So we're, breaking the glass ceiling again with that. And the fact that we are going to provide you with product and then so many hours of hand-holding tuition, exactly as we've just done here. That for me is just groundbreaking and phenomenal. Something I'm very proud of. My team have done a phenomenal job with that. But if I had to pick a product, it would be the Vintage Butterfly collection.
Oh, lovely. I do like that one. Elise. Oh, no, I had another one here that I just saw and now I've lost it. Elise wants to know what's the best way to use the water reactive ink pads. I have them, but I don't seem to use them. to have the water reactive feature? Any advice?
There's loads of YouTube, so go and watch. I have got at least 2 full Colour Me Happies where I've done water reactive on our YouTube channel. Please go and look at that. Blending is key, so using your blending tools, putting different colours together, but then learning some of the water techniques. Far too many for me to explain 30 seconds for you here. My advice would be go and find the water reactive YouTube that I delivered, and it's got to be a year or 2 ago, so you'll need to go right back and have a look, but everything you need is there.
Andrew wants to know if you had a nice birthday.
Sorry?
Did you have a nice birthday?
Oh, I had a gorgeous birthday. It was at the weekend. Yes, we went out for fabulous food. We had a couple of glasses of fizz, and I was very spoiled by all of my loved ones. So, yes, had a lovely time. Thank you.
Amazing. Who was it who wanted to know this? Nettie New says, will the Desert Storm Nina be coming back, or is it done?
It's done.
Ah, there you are.
It's just not available. We just can't. If we could get it, we would. It's just not being manufactured. So, sadly, we can't get it for you.
Rhiannon, great question. For both of us, what is the worst thing that's happened to you live on air?
I've got 2 things.
Go on, you do one and then I'll do mine, you do the second one.
Okay. My first one is when I actually slipped on a plastic card bag and went flying flat on my back. And
where was that?
That was a Create and Craft.
At Create and Craft.
Poor Nigel was just like, oh my God, Chivers, are you all right? And can you remember Adi, the floor manager?
Yeah.
Andy Love was down in the other set and he was shouting, oh my God, is she okay? This is all live on air. And then they must be able to find it somewhere. It was hilarious. And then Adi, the floor manager, if you can remember him, literally ran the length of the studio and vaulted the counter to get over and make sure that I hadn't knocked myself out cold and I was okay.
Oh my.
Managed to get me up off the floor. I was giggling because I do laugh at anybody falling over, even myself.
I watch falling over montages on YouTube.
Just for laughs. I mean, honestly. And I mean, it took me a while to get my breath and I was okay. And we carried on with the show. But for me, that was probably the most embarrassing thing because I literally got my foot on a piece of plastic and went flying. Yeah,
mine was without a shadow of a doubt one stand-up one, which is still on YouTube. You go and watch it. I was selling a Kenwood food mixer on Ideal World and was whisking egg whites in the food mixer. And when I opened it up, sort of tip forward, what I couldn't see is egg whites. It started to sort of slide down the bowl, but I couldn't see that. And then I did the sort of acid test for egg whites, which is holding it over the presenter's head. Dave Bradford fell out onto him. I screamed. And the other thing was he had to go and sell a sat-nav in the next hour and his hair went all crusty. Yeah, it was quite bad. What was your other one?
My other one, I don't know if I can. So,
what is it?
when you were, well, you're going to hear if I whisper. So, when you're on air, we have our mic packs, don't we? So we have our mic pack and our talk back, so we can hear what's going on. We can be told to behave and get on with the job, etc. So we've got all the voices in our ear and a microphone so you can hear us. Those can be quite heavy, can't they?
The packs,
The packs, Joe.
Oh,
and we tend to clip them on our waistband, don't we?
Yes. Or guys put them on their belts.
Guys, if you don't have a belt, where are you going to put it? You put it on the waistband. Oh, well, I hadn't worked that out there.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say I didn't have a bra on.
No, I always have to wear a bra.
Leanne, you should be wearing a bra to work.
You definitely don't want to see me on the air with no bra. So, I put it on the waistband of an elasticated waist skirt. I was on air with Nigel May, and I could feel the weight pulling that down.
Oh, no.
Thank God it was with Nigel.
Right.
So I could feel the weight of that pulling that down. And then they needed me to go, when they say go up the counter. So when you walk down and you're looking at all the products. And I was kind of goose stepping, shuffling, because every time I moved, it was weighing down a little bit further to the point it did actually get to knee level.
Oh, your trousers, you had...
My skirt.
Your skirt. Oh, gosh.
And then under a video...
I hope you had good undies on.
I had a slip on.
Oh, you're right. Brilliant.
Yeah, I had a slip on.
Yeah,
so, and then under the video... Nigel managed to help me get my skirt back to where it should be.
Amazing. I bet he did.
So that's my second one.
So, Astrid, I love that Astrid's a lovely lady. She's always looking out for us. She wants to know, how's breakfast working out? Do you have one before and then a bonus one after? And what's your favourite breakfast choice? My favourite breakfast choice to kick off with, hands down, Eggs Benedict.
Me too.
The king of all breakfasts as far as I'm concerned. Maybe a salmon Benedict, so it's an egg royale, isn't it? With breakfast, I get an egg and bacon roll from a specific services on the way to work. I always stop at the same services when I'm here. If I'm coming into work, then I get a bacon roll from the canteen. Delicious. This morning, this is hilarious, got in the car and it said 37 miles I had left on fuel remaining. Now the service station is 32 miles away from my house, but I passed past 2 other service stations which I could have stopped at, and I thought, that'll be absolutely fine. I have 37 miles of fuel. It's a 32-mile journey to that specific station. I'm a creature of habit. It'll be fine. 3 miles from the service station, ... We went to 0 miles left on the fuel gauge.
How did you manage to get to coast?
No.
On your fumes?
So I just had to hope.
You just prayed to the fuel
know there's always a little bit left in there, don't you? But such is my want and desire to stop at the same service station that I was worried I was going to sell out of fuel on the way in this morning. That's how breakfast goes for me. How does it go for you?
So I don't really do breakfast because here's the thing: the sooner I start to eat, the more regular I want to eat.
That's bad for you though, Leanne.
I know.
Apparently, I'm not a doctor, I don't know if you guessed.
So, and also first thing in the morning, I can't really eat.
You need a little smoothie first thing in the morning.
Well, no, I need tea.
Yogurt?
No. So this morning I had a banana.
That's breakfast. That's a banana.
So
brilliant.
I'll do that, and then around about 10:30, I'm ready for a bacon sandwich. But actually, sometimes when I've been coming into work of late, because up early and I get in the office for 7:45, something like that, about 7:30, I've been getting a bacon sandwich off Christina. So around about that time.
A couple of questions. I'm going to do a couple more really quickly. Just a yes or no. Do we think there will be a Craftiganza this year? Yes, no, don't know.
I would hesitate. No, I don't know.
Maybe.
I can't call it. It's not a definite no, but it isn't a definite yes. We're in significant powwow discussions about how we could make that work safely.
One quick one, very quickly. What is that was from Sam McDonald. Melissa wants to know, can you tell us something funny that Ada has done recently? Ada, your granddaughter.
Oh, something funny she's done recently. My gosh, there's so many funny things. I can't recall one. Can I have some time to think about that?
You can let me know
then
that
I can let you know when I'm demonstrating, because I need to think.
We'll give you time to get it together. Got it? Good. See, segue into the next item. You like that? It is, of course, a 12-pack of our tape pens. It is this week's Get It, Got It Good. We launch a new one every single Montag. That is Monday in German. And you've got great savings also. £30 there, or $39.50 if you're in the US. You can spread the cost on ClearPay if you are a UK customer. But Get It, Got It Good is all about... Oh, sorry, I didn't realise how short that was. I was really taking my time over there. It's because I was trying to clip myself back together. I've actually basically had to get dressed again after that section. And I didn't realise how short it was. That's why I'm still wandering around. Anyway, all's well that ends well. Yes, Get It, Got It Good. One of your tape pens are, of course, essential. I know we were quite low in stock on those for ages. Any other questions that you have got? Get them into us. Maybe we'll do a few more. We'll do a few more before the end of the show, is what I was going to say. Right, we are going to move on to Cut and Emboss folder collection. It's over here. I'm coming back. I should have got these out earlier. I'm not very well prepared today, am I? I've been up since 4 a.m. Did I mention it? Right, let's move on. Let's take you through these. So it's nine Cut and Emboss folders. $87.69, best price yet on these, which is fantastic. So you've got some schmetterlings. That is your Butterfly Delight. You will also get the Flourishing Flowers, the Spring Blooms, which is that one there. You've got this one, which I love, the Interlocking Circles. That's your Entwined Hearts. Soon be Valentine's Day, Leanne. This one is your Interlocking Squares. Square Chevrons is this one. You've also got Happy Hearts there. And you've got Pretty Polka Dots as well. $87.69, $899.15 is your price on these. There are some smaller collections of these available over on the website. I'd urge you to go over there and check them out. It is bumper collection. Remember, you can spread the cost for ClearPay, as you can see there on the screen. If you want to see everything that's available in the show, there's so many items. A lot of the time there'll be a lot of items we don't even get to share with you live in the show. It's always worth heading over to the website. Details are there in the corner of the screen, craftscompanion.co.uk.com.au. Hit the Shop the Show button, and then you can see all of the products that are available in each and every show. Right then, Leanne, where are we going next?
Right, we're going to have a look at our cut and emboss folders, but we're going to actually make one of these tall gift boxes, which would be perfect for, if anybody's watching who knows me, a bottle of gin, or a bottle of gin, or a bottle of gin. Maybe a bottle of gin, but you know, so it's one of those nice tall gift boxes. You could get a lot of biscuits in there, you can get a good size present in. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to show you how you can do this using only our large guillotine, and then you're cutting emboss folders to decorate. And I thought, let's take them, because we've got time, we've got the luxury of time, let's just take a moment and I can talk you through it in detail. Oh, and I think, have we got the guillotine on the show? You would think I would know. Our guillotine is fantastic, honestly. It took us a long time to develop it, and the reason you're going to love it even more when you see how easy it is to do this box using only the guillotine. So I'm going to make a 4-inch square box. So the bottom of my box is 4 inches square, and I have cut myself a 4-inch square here, ready to make the base of my box. So my 4-inch square is ready. Pop that there. I'm then taking, this is stamping card. So stamping card, our new multi-card or all-purpose card, is perfect for construction. It is always, without doubt, what I use for card bases and construction, this card. I can't be without it. So I'm going to line this up at 4 inches. So I've got a 4-inch base, but I need to join several pieces together. And I want to do that with a 1/4 inch tab. So I'm going to 4 1/4 inches there on my ruler, and then from the length of a piece of stamping card, I'm going to cut that down. Then I'm going to take my scoring tool from the top of my guillotine, and at the 4-inch mark, I'm going to score myself a line before I take that off. And that gives me the basis for creating my box straight away.
Amazing, that is 40% gone, 40% gone, that guillotine. If you want it, make sure you grab a hold of it. It's fabulous, isn't it?
It really is. Precision all the way. I mean, you can hear the quality of that cut. And I'm going to do that 4 times, Joe. So I've got the length of my stamping card, and I've got that at 4 1/4 inches, and then I'm scoring. So I'm trimming at 4 1/4, lining it up onto that line, cutting that down, scoring at the 4-inch mark before I remove my card. And so on my guillotine, I've done my cutting and my scoring in 4 very easy processes, and it's absolutely accurate. So I'm going to my.
Would you use a large and a small guillotine, or is it a case you've got the large one, you don't really need the small one? Do they both have their jobs? Something I've never thought about before, Leanne.
So for the box, I have both, and I think you need both. That's why we develop both.
Yeah.
So your small one is for portability and small projects. It's on your desktop. You're just doing some quick matting and layering. Your large one is for things like this, for larger projects, for construction, cutting down big pieces of cardstock, making them into smaller, so that you get more value for money from your cardstock, so you can use it more efficiently, your big one.
Amazing.
So I've done that 4 times. Now what I need to do actually is just on here is a 1/4 inch from the bottom, score as well. So I'll line that up on one of my lines here. So lining it up on 3 1/2, and I can see I need a 1/4 inch score. So there's my 1/4 inch there, and I'll do that on all 4 of those pieces I've just prepared. So line it up on one of the full 1/2 inches, go to the 1/4 inch, score your line. And I'm doing that along the bottom of all 4 pieces. And this is going to make that card, that box, that lovely big gift box for you, and it's going to make it really easy. I go here, so now I've done that 4 times, and it's great that I get the opportunity, Joe, to do this live for you, where we haven't got all the pieces pre-prepared, because you can see exactly how it happens. And actually, look, I've got another piece there, similar size. I could make 2 boxes from 4 pieces of card. How fantastic is that?
Absolutely
So
amazing.
I've got my 4-inch square at the bottom, and then what I'm going to do, if you can see where the score lines cross, if you can see that there, the crosshairs. I'm going to cut that out.
Queen of the Zoom she's becoming, isn't she, our Nicola?
And take that out. So you can see where I've took that crosshair out there. Yep. And I'm going to do that on all 4 pieces. So this is where our scissors, and this is where your snipping is great, because look, I can line that up at the 1/4 inch mark on the ruler on my scissor, snip right to the end, and it'll do that for me, even with big scissors. And it takes that really precisely out for you. So you can use the measure on your scissors as well.
They're my kitchen scissors, those ones.
Are they? Do you love them?
And the medium ones are my Lily de-stamening scissors.
Yes.
And I haven't really found, I use the small ones. I use the small ones for crafty stuff more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Nicola, our director today, our vision mixer, she uses them to cut her fringe with the small scissors. There you go.
Well, there you go. A scissor for every use. I love the fact that all of our staff could buy any scissors for their household chores, but they all use Crafters Companion scissors because they are the best scissors. They're great for everything. I use them for soft craft, I use them for dressmaking. I've got some in my kitchen. My husband's got them in the garage because he was pinching mine and he got very, very wrong for that. Very, very, very wrong.
You got any hand cream with you today, Leanne?
I have got some hand cream with you.
Have you got it with you right now?
No.
Is it in your bag?
It's in my bag.
Remind me to get some afterwards. My hands are horrible today.
Oh.
Very dry and cracked. I think it's the changing weather. It's cold and it's warm, then it's cold and it's warm. My skin doesn't know what's going on.
There you go. I've got some good quality hand
Amazing.
cream with me today, Joe.
Brilliant.
Right, so now we're just going to construct our box. So I've got my 4 pieces where I've scored the tabs along the full length, and then I cut it out and we've got that big piece there, and I've got my 4-inch base. So the first thing I'm going to do is apply my glue, my tape pen, down this edge. So down the long edge. So tape pen there, and then that goes on. Fold your edge to the inside and apply your glue. For the base, you're going to apply it to the opposite. You're going to apply it to the inside. And then I've got my 4-inch piece of card here. Line that up there, and that's my first side of my box ready. You can see that. So then I take the next piece, and of course the side with no scored flap goes up against here, and because I've already applied my glue tape, I can push that down there like that. I then just add a little bit of tape pen here, and now I've got my next piece there on my base, and give that a little nip. You can stand it up and give it a push down. So there's 2 sides to my box now, Joe.
Amazing.
And we just work this all the way around in that way. So now I'm going to apply my tape pen down the long end again. There. And on my next piece, it starts to get fiddly trying to get the glue pen inside, so always put your glue on before you do your construction in the 2 places. So this does exactly the same. It lies up against the side there, and then folds over to stick it in place. Just make sure I've got that perfectly lined up there. Stick it down, and then this comes round, falls under the bottom, put it flat on your table. There you've got 3 sides to your box. So this couldn't be easier actually, Joe. And now for this one, we're going to do exactly the same. So we're adding glue pen here on the long side when it's folded in towards you. And then this one gets its glue tape here.
Just to let you know, the craft kit offer we've got, Leanne, 6 of the kits have already gone out of the 16 we have. 16 of the kits have already gone. Right, we had 35 options, 16 of them already gone. Half the stock's gone on those. How long is that going to be running for? Is it a 24-hour deal? It is, yeah. It's not going to. Is it going to be stock or is it going to be clock? Who knows? But you don't have long. So time is ticking. If you want those, if you've got some of those kits sat in your basket, I would think about checking that out. Nothing more annoying, Leanne, is there when you decide you want something, but it's gone and sold out, and then you've got to rummage through your basket trying to find out what it is. You've got to remove it and you can start the whole process again. If you've got any of the craft kits in your basket, make sure you check them out, is what I would say. That's coming together beautifully.
It is. Right, so I've got my tape pens running out again. Bear with while I get a new one.
Lots of questions still coming. We'll do a few more. There's lots of crafty questions before the end of the show. Kaz says, I bought a large guillotine at the beginning of Jan. I had an old one that was given to me years ago. And wow. The Crafts Companion one is a massive upgrade. My paper and card now cut straight, which is what we want. No one wants a wonky donkey back leg, do they?
They definitely don't want a wonky donkey back leg. So you see, I've put all 4 of my sides together now. You see me do that. Then I just take a kitchen roll and I give that a good push down on the inside so that all of my glue is adhered. I lie each side down and run along those joins so it's all glued together. And that gives you your tall box. You then just make your 4-inch lid and do your scoring as you would. You've seen us do boxes many times. Glue that together. Like that, and then that would make your lid for the top of your box. So you can make a really lovely tall gift box by doing that. So make your tall gift box. That's how you put it together, because sometimes I look at those and I think, how on earth does that happen? So I wanted to show you. Then you're going to take your cut and emboss folder, which I had out and now I can't see where I've put it, Joe. Oh, it's here, it's right in front of me. Take your cut and emboss folder. These Slimline ones are fantastic. So these are for the trend at the moment for Slimline cards, which is about 3 3/4 inches by 8.5 inches is the size. That's huge everywhere. Cut your piece of white cardstock to that size, which I've got here. Take your Gemini plates, pop it inside the folder. Take your Gemini plates, which mine are here. And actually you can see, lining your piece of card with your butterfly wings. Just make sure you get it so that your butterflies are on the cardstock. And actually I think that piece could just a tad too small. So I'm going to cut myself a new piece, Joe, because I don't want to ruin the effect.
So, who we got here? Rosalind wants to know, she says, I'm just waking up, is Leanne going to be with us all day? She is not, but back tomorrow, Leanne, aren't you, for Craft Chat Create?
Yes.
Nearly. So you'll be doing it tomorrow and Friday as well.
Yes.
And we have Soft Side Live together on Friday
as well.
So lots of opportunity to catch you this week on Crafters TV.
Lots of opportunities to catch me on Crafters TV this week. Lots and lots. Right, so I've just cut my piece of cardstock to the right size for my folder. So you can see that there. So that's inside now. And now I'm just going to use my Gemini plates and run this through. It will work on your junior as well. It's just that I've got my Gemini to hand.
Amazing. Kathy says, is this a toolbox for your gin?
Yes, definitely for my gin.
Absolutely.
There was a new gin released on the social media last night, which I'm very interested in trying.
What is it?
James Martin. James Martin's own gin. He's a chef. I think he's great.
He looks like he loves a gin, doesn't he?
I like his kukri books, etc. I just think he's great, and I love to watch him on a Saturday morning. So I think I'm going to try his gin, Joe.
Do you know Tanqueray just released an alcohol-free gin?
Really?
And apparently it's got rave reviews. I'm doing dry January. I had dripping wet December, now I'm having dry January, so maybe I'll give it a go.
Oh, well, I'm having, because it's my birthday month, I'm having a January.
January, love that.
Yeah, and then I'm going to do a dry February.
Wow.
There we go. So look, I've run my cut and emboss folder through. We've got all that beautiful embossed detail in the background. The die in here in this cut and emboss folder cuts the butterfly wings for you in the exact place so that you can lift them up and have them protruding, which is beautiful. It looks like it's flying from the card. How gorgeous is that? Then all I would do is, as I did earlier, take my Harmony Water Reactive inks, do a little bit of inking over the butterflies. You could put a little bit of glitter on there, put some gems in the centre if you want to. So you've got your butterflies popping out. Mat and layer that onto a piece of silver cardstock once you've inked it up. And they look really beautiful like that, don't they? And then on all 4 sides of the tall box you've just created, put 1 panel on each of the 4 sides, fussy cut one of the butterflies out by just snipping it away for the top, and you've got a beautiful gift box for whatever gift you want to put inside. I really love these folders, and I'm just going to grab a whole handful of samples here because that's one way of using them, but oh my word, when you see what else you can do with them using your inks, etc., with these fabulous folders, it really does look phenomenal, Joe. So you can see beautiful shaker cards with a little apertures and celebrate there. This one, Best Wishes, I love the geometric shapes on there. Again, as shaker elements with our inking and some ink techniques there with 4 bleaching. We've got little characters, upside down, got little characters popping out of those little circles there with some lovely emboss on. The concentric circles, again some inking, looks gorgeous. The daisy one I absolutely love. Again, the daisy is the same as the butterfly, where it part cuts the flowers for you so that they can pop out of the card, so your flowers are 3-dimensional. You've got the beautiful heart design, Joe. Really just gorgeous examples of these fabulous slimline cards used in so many different ways. And you see me put panels on a box, but of course the butterflies look gorgeous just on the front of a card with some lovely glitter card behind them. And you can make them look quite masculine as well, I think. You know, so you can do something like a shaker card like that with a lovely geometric shape. You can put it as a panel on a larger card if you don't want to do slimline. Use it with all of your other dies and sentiments that you've got at home already. Use 2 panels on a big card and make a real statement. So many different things you can do with these.
Love that card there.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Lots you can do with these. Very versatile, very usable and gorgeous designs.
Really, really beautiful. Let me share with you then. There's a couple of smaller collections which I talked about, and I'm going to run you through those right now. Go for the square chevrons in this smallest collection here. You will also get, of course, the happy hearts and the pretty polka dots as well. So that's a smaller collection. Then there's a 6-piece collection as well. And in there, you'll get the interlocking squares, which is this one just here. I'll just get those details changed for you. You've also got the interlocking circles. There we are. We've got the entwined hearts, butterfly delights, flourishing flowers, and the spring blooms as well. However you're going for them, or you can actually go for them all together, all 9 of them, which is how you get the best value, and you get the best deal there as well. So £87.69, £99.15. Make sure you're using your Club Inspire discount. Essentially, you buy the 6, and you get 3 free, which is amazing. Right. Sassy and classy is where we are going now. It's hard for me to say that as a southerner, you know. So it's sassy and classy. But it doesn't sound as good, does it?
Sassy and classy.
Sassy and classy.
Oh.
Sassy and classy. Doesn't sound the same. Sassy and classy. Here we go. I'm just dead northern, aren't I? This one here, you've got 4 different collections. The great thing is about stamps that we bring you that are designed for colouring is exactly that. They are designed to be coloured. So it means that when our illustrators and artists have put these together, they've done it with you in mind, making it easy for you to colour these in. This is Hello Gorgeous, that one there. You've got Dress to Impress with the sewing machine. We've also got Partners in Crime, which is that one just there. And finally, True Friends as well, as you can see, just there. Brilliant price for you on this. Essentially, I think you're buying 3 and getting 1 for free. No, you're not even paying. You're saving $11.19 or $14.51. You do get 1 for free, do you? I thought you did. Did I mention I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning? Anyway, Sassy and Classy is the name of the game. I'd love to know who's got these and what you've been making with them. Can you use these in the MIDI? Yes, you can, is the answer to that. You can indeed use your cut and emboss folders in the MIDI. Who else we've got here? Oh, I just got my beard caught in my microphone. That wasn't pleasant. Any other last minute questions you've got, get them in to me and I'll send them. Fire them across to the lovely Leanne. Rebecca's talking about printers. Even 2 printers printing and 1 for alcohol, 1 for watercolour. Rebecca says, would you recommend having 2 printers? Well, I mean, I think you can. Professional printing that you get done is laser printed. So get yourself an inkjet printer, and then when you want to print some stuff to watercolour on, take some watercolour card down to professional printers, put the images on a USB drive, get the printers to print them for you. I mean, it's going to be much more cost effective than investing in a massive laserjet printer, because they're huge and they cost quite a lot of money as well. Yeah, anything else you want to know, get it into me. But we are looking now, I do believe, at the Sassy and Classy. Are you ready for us, Leanne?
I am ready for you, Joe.
You're ready.
I'm ready. Can I have your tri-blend box, please?
Absolutely
of the
not.
deep blends. Thank you.
No, sorry.
Don't be rude. Just.
It says on the back not to be demonstrated with.
Excuse me.
What one are you looking for? Are you looking for a particular one?
I'm head of product development. I will have those pens if I would like them,
Don't
please.
you know I am?
I'm going to get all of my sass on. Thank you. I would like my dusky purple, which I've got no glasses on. Dusky
do you want me to come
purple
back?
blend.
Can you see them?
Dusty I think it's this one. It is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, is that the deep blends?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it says it on the front.
Does it?
Deep
No, they've got the
blends.
wrong pen in the wrong box.
Oh, that wasn't me.
I mean, that was just take it away. Go
Do you
on.
want me to take?
I mean, try harder next time, Joe. Really.
Goodness,
We're just
Did
going to
I
do it with
mention
this
I was
pen
up
here.
since 4 a.m.?
We're just going to do it with this pen here. I mean, excuses, Joe. They're falling on deaf ears. Right. So we're going to start with our curtains from the Sassy and Classy. I love this image. I can't remember what it's called, so you'll have to remind me. But this is True Friends. This is one of my favourites, this one. I adore these stamps. Now, the reason I adore these stamps are, if you're a beginner colourist, this is absolutely the character range for you to start with, because there are no faces. Or the face, so you've got the back of a head there, or on some of them the faces are quite naive, so you don't have to be an expert face colourer-innerer. It makes it very, very easy for you.
Colourer-innerer?
Colourer-innerer.
Is that the official term?
Official term.
Amazing.
What we're going to do is apply the folds to the curtain. So we're going to aim for this, where we've got those lovely folds in the curtain. It looks like it's being folded back. Now, what I want to show you here is a little bit different to what we've been doing, because for the folds, we're going to plan where they are. Now, a lot of them are already planned in for us with the fantastic illustration, but there are other places where we will need to make sure that we've got dark areas for fold. And so what I do with that is I plan that in with my darkest colour first. So this isn't blending, and this isn't doing any colouring. This is mapping out. So I'm mapping out where those folds are going to be and where I'm going to add my colour, and then I'm going to map it out in the same direction this way. So that's just deciding where the folds in the curtain are going to be. You don't have to be precise or clever with that at all. Then you can start adding in your colouring and your shading. So I'm going to take this swag of curtain first. So I go with my lightest. I preserve my highlight, as we've talked about so many times. I then go in with my darkest, and then I go in with my lightest again. Now you'll notice there, I'm not actually going to the middle colour in my marker, because these are quite small areas that I'm working on. And so sometimes when it's a very small area you're working on, you don't need the darker colour, the middle colour. You only need the two from either end of the pen, the dark and the light. It's only for much larger areas that you need to have the middle tone of your marker.
Amazing.
So when it's smaller areas, you don't need to use it, it's just the darker here. So we put in the swags there. So I'm just going with the darkest and the lightest, and I'll come down and I'll fill in all of this preserved highlight in a second. So you can see I'm doing that there, filling in my preserved highlight, and then I'll take the darkest colour again and I'll put more of that swag in there, and then they will just join up in the middle as we add more in. And so the darkest and the lightest are the only two I'm using here.
Yeah, it really looks like you've got the depth of field of those ruffles, doesn't it? They really come to life. I think the stamped image is great on its own. There's something about images that are designed to be coloured which makes them different and sets them apart from a regular stamp. Would you agree, Leanne?
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely, I would.
If you want to go for these, you can. $28.77, you're getting one of them for free. Buy 3, get 1 free. I know it's very hard to say. $28.77 is your price in the UK. $37.29 if you're across the pond. If you're in the UK and you're spending over £30, you need to add, of course, something else into your basket. You can spread the cost with ClearPay, which is amazing. So we'll split that into 4 equal instalments. 1 you pay today, the other 3 you pay at 2-week intervals. The great thing about that is it's totally interest-free. It is open to UK customers, which is awesome. Leanne, pulling rank, says Lena. She does that a lot.
It doesn't happen very often, but you know, sometimes you've just got to put your foot down with a firm hand.
Sweet Caroline's card says Jones Gin, do a raspberry and lime gin. The best gin I've ever had.
Now, I'm not a fan of flavoured gins.
Are you not?
No.
How about making your own flavoured gins?
I do make sloe gin at Christmas. Yeah, I definitely do that.
Not a fan of flavoured gins. You surprised me there.
I'm not. I think I'm a bit of a purist when it comes to gin.
I always think of you as being a bit fruity, to be honest. So I was surprised.
Oh well, yes, I have been called fruity, and my humour can be fruity. So I will take that on the chin, Joe, thank you. But in terms of gin, I liked gin before it was a thing.
Before it was a thing?
Yeah.
You do know gin has been around since like the sort of 1100s?
Yeah, because I've been drinking it that long.
So you were back drinking it when people make it in the baths?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it used to be called Mother's Ruin, didn't it? Years ago.
Yeah.
Mother's Ruin.
Mother's
yeah.
Ruin.
That's
yeah,
what gin was
Ruin.
called. Mm.
Yeah.
Now, you notice I'm using my brush markers here. So I've switched to my brush tri-blend.
Right.
Because for doing folds on, here's the thing, and it's shown a good example of when a tri-blend with a bullet nib and a tri-blend with a brush nib have different uses. Because look, how much easier it is to get the flicks and the folds with a brush nib, because you've got that fluid movement. Whereas when you're colouring something solid like the plant pot, or like I'm going to do with her clothes in a second, then the bullet nib is really useful. It's so much easier to get that real fabric flow with the brush nib on my tri-blend brush marker than it is with the bullet. You don't have to work as hard for it, Joe.
I'm guessing it's just all about having the right tool for the right job,
Absolutely,
isn't it? And we
it
bring you, a whole range of products from Spectrum Noir which complement each other, that work together to enable you to create a whole plethora of different styles. We've got something for pretty much every job in the Spectrum Noir range. Would you agree, Leanne?
I do agree. Yes, we have. And they're all... One thing you can be sure of with our Spectrum Noir range is that the quality is always exceptional, and you're going to get very great results with limited effort at all, just by following a couple of very basic techniques. So you see the brush tri-blend there made those curtains really look like all of those folds in the right place. Now I'm using my tri-blend with my bullet nib because I want to get this shading into small areas, and I don't want the big flicks for the clothes. So I'm going in with the lightest, as we've done before. I'm then going in with the darkest, and then I've got the medium colour, tiny bit, preserved highlight all the way, and because her back would be rounded, the light would be in the middle. So then I go in with my lightest colour, fill that in, and don't be afraid to leave a little bit of white now and again, just adds that little bit of extra dimension.
Makes it look a bit painterly, as you say.
Painterly, yes, you can do that.
Love that word.
I do too, it's a great word. And then I'm going to do the cat. What colour should we do the cat, Joe?
Ginger.
Gingerish, ginger cat. Oh, that's orange cat.
Rosalind says, I'm more of a tequila drinker, but when I do, I drink gin. I like Bombay and Tanqueray.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I'm going to go for, I'm trying to get like plan a longer holiday this year, Leanne, like a nice 2-week break or something like that, because we haven't had, just been able to have like little very short breaks, haven't we, and leave it sort of last minute. Well, I was thinking of doing a little road trip through Mexico and actually going to Tequila. It is a town, of course, and you can go to the tequila farms. It looks incredible. And then I was going to go up the coast a little bit to I'm not very good with my Spanish pronunciations. Puerto Vallarta, I think it's called, or Vallarta.
Wow, that sounds gorgeous.
Looks gorgeous.
That sounds like something I'd like to do, Joe.
Come with me. You'll love it. We'll have a lovely time.
I would love that. Well, I'm going to Greece in May. Should we be allowed?
So you're going to Greece in May, yes. Sounds like you've made the places up that you mentioned to me earlier. What are they called? What are the places called?
I'm going to Pisco Piano.
Well, I mean, is that a real place?
Yeah.
And it's near where?
It's near Heraklion.
Again, doesn't sound like it even exists to me. But that is all in or near Crete, is it? Which
yes.
Definitely no exists.
It definitely.
Pisco Piano.
Pisco Piano. It's lovely if you haven't been. It's really, really picturesque.
What does piano mean in Greek then, I wonder?
Well, I don't know, because in Italian it means slowly, slowly, doesn't it? Piano, piano, slowly, slowly.
Piano not mean stairs as well in some languages?
I don't know, Joe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Any Greek viewers out there, let us know. Anyone speak Greek? I've just made a cuppa and the chat is about gin, says Lee Allen. Question, Craig's favourite is ice grey. Does Leanne have a favourite pen and shade?
Oh.
And also, what is your favourite ink pad colour as well?
Oh, wow. Favourite one. So 3 favourite ink pad colours. I'm going to show you this finished one and then the finished card so you can see it. Favourite ink pad colour. Favourite ink pad, I have to pick 3. Lemon Tonic Fuchsia Parakeet.
That was 3.
3 water reactive ink pads. If I could only have those 3 and I had to give every other ink pad up that I own, those are the 3 I would keep. And in terms of colour family in the pens, I do love the corals and I do love the dark reds. And I like the blue turquoise.
Amazing.
And the hydrangea purple.
Okay. It needs a 3-hour show of its own,
really
this
it
question,
does.
I think, at this rate.
I do buy paint and things and clothes at home, you know, in Spectrum Noir colours. It's hilarious. I said to my sister, my goodness, that is a lovely HB2. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's a hydrangea number 2, intensity, that colour. She's like, there's only you knows what that means, Leanne. I'm like, no, other Spectrum Noir colourists will know what I mean. That's a PP1 top.
That means something completely different to me, but we'll move on anyway. Let me share with you again the 4 different sets that you are getting in here, which is amazing. So you have got Hello Gorgeous, which is that one just there. You've also then got Dress to Impress. This one here is the Partners in Crime, and you've also got True Friends as well. You're buying 3, you're getting 1 for free, which is awesome. Grab a hold of those. Don't forget about the morning must-have as well. It is your crafters inspiration. It's the new redesigned magazine. Still got all the same great value. Still packed full of projects in each one of these magazines. Buying one, getting one half price as well, which is fantastic. So don't miss out on that. I also need to recap the show times each and every day for you. So here they come. You can join us at 8 a.m. It's a 3-hour show every day, 8 a.m. Up next with George and Craig and Andrew, I believe. Midday in the UK is Wake Up Call today. 3 p.m. a little later today, myself and my TV wife, Debbie Fisher, we're reunited for an amazing launch day. Is it launch day? Yeah, it's new nesting, advanced nesting dies. And then Creative Cravings a little later. That'll be up with Georgie Boy himself. So make sure you come and join everyone for those. Leanne, pleasure to spend some time with you in the studio. Should we do it again Friday morning?
Yeah, let's, Joe. I can't wait. I'll not forget the cake.
Brilliant. It's a date. I'll see you here on Friday with Leanne, but I'll be back at 3 p.m. George on the way in an hour's time. Don't go anywhere. Take care.